all the zigs and zags of life. That's why we created the wealth management solution, where we take the holistic approach and look at everything that you've got, not just trying to buy that one stock at the very bottom, sell it at the very top, buy those two annuities and two REITs and call me in 10 years sort of a thing. No, we do it step by step, day by day. It's a process, and we work with you all along the way.
If you're ready for some help, call Compact Asset Management at 800-388-9700 and schedule your free consultation with Mo Ansari to learn about his holistic approach to wealth management. Call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
One trip down Scottsdale Road and it's obvious. Snowbird season is here. You know what else is on Scottsdale Road? The absolute best restaurant to take your out-of-town friends and family to. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. No one does it better than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, fire, and fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is dinnertainment at its best, where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for any occasion. Choose from over 50 different items and combinations of teppanyaki. Looking for a great dining without the show? Kasai offers an awesome selection of Asian-inspired dishes and tasty sushi. Happy hour deals daily until 6 p.m. And enjoy outdoor dining on our heated patio. So whether here on a golfing trip, for spring training, or just to enjoy our Arizona sunshine, don't just take your guests to dinner. Take them to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse for dinnertainment. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114.
We are ready to duel in the desert.
Is there anything better than the sound of 3 races breathing life into a new NASCAR season? What about if it's at a state-of-the-art facility with stunning views of the Estrella Mountains and a famous, only one of its kind hillside? Well, then you must be talking about Phoenix Raceway. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 10th through the 12th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM
and K240 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Thursday, February 23rd, here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. As we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale, in the heart of the CRC Broadcasting Megaplex. You're texting in on the text line, 888-368-1580. Lots to talk about right over there. That's the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. That is one Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien is out today. But we have lots to talk about as we head for 6 o'clock tonight. Things happening all over the place. Vance Joseph has a new job. Dusty Baker speaks out about why the Astros didn't assign a veteran pitcher in the offseason. Mississippi State's got a pitcher that can throw from both sides. Ambidextrous, Keon. He throws 97 right-handed. He throws 92 left-handed.
Oh, my God.
And my big question is, how does he change gloves in the middle of the inning? And is that allowed?
Is that allowed? And, boy, you have a guy maybe you could pitch multiple days in a row.
97 right-handed, 92 left-handed. And last night, in spite of an ongoing murder investigation, Alabama had their freshman Brandon Miller playing. We'll talk about that. But you were texting us on the text line at 888-368-1580, where I found out just a bit ago. I did not know this, but Cardinal Art and I have something in common. Cardinal Art works at Camelback Ranch. Now, I did not know that. Camelback Ranch, Keon, you probably don't know, is the spring training home for the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, nice.
And it's close to the compound out here. I worked there in the past. I was working in TV, but that was several years ago. Cardinal Art works there. I wonder what he does. Is he selling beer like Heavy Metal Maniacs does at Bob?
Well, we have multiple doctors. It'd be really cool if we had multiple beer guys.
Here's the thing. I'm thinking there's some way that we've got to get these safe harbors in all of the stadiums around the valley. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you and I can go to games and Jeff Go, of course, as well. But we've got connections.
Got the inside track.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love it.
We need to work our connections. Cardinal Art, proud of you. Good job. I did not know he worked at Camelback Ranch. Very interesting. All right, 888-368-1580. First up today, Vance Joseph. I know you were worried about him. I know Cardinal fans, you were crying over his departure. Ladies and gentlemen, you breathe a sigh of relief because he has landed a job. Vance Joseph is now the new defensive coordinator at the Denver Broncos. Ladies and gentlemen, Vance Joseph he landed himself a new position with a team that he just coached 4 years ago. You might recall. And they almost ran him out of Denver on a rail. But he is back and been hired. And he beat out Rex Ryan and Matt Patricia, which Matt Patricia, I didn't know he was trying to, to go there to Denver and coach the defense. Did not know that.
I didn't know that either. I was trying to keep up with the situation, and I just hadn't seen a ton of reports about Patricia.
So, Bronco fans in the fourth dimension, what do you think? Your new head coach, Sean Payton, thinks that Vance Joseph is the answer. Now, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything for my Bronco fan listeners out there in the fourth dimension. I care about the fourth dimension, but yeah.
The question is, was Vance Joseph the best of the options that were available? Because you have a coach who, because of the nature of his situation, negotiating with him to become the head coach took so long. Who's left?
Wasn't he like something like 24th or something with the Cardinals defense? Is there some way? Would you mind looking that up for me?
I'm doing it right now.
Keon, I've got a lot of tabs open on my end. And also there's this history he has with the Broncos where consecutively he went 5-11 and then he went 6-10. You got yourself a winner in town there in Denver. I don't know what to feel. But Vance Joseph is taking over in my opinion, I think a pretty good defense in Denver. I don't know what you think. It was you got Justin Simmons on there. You got Pro Bowl cornerback Patrick Surtain. You've got DJ Jones. You got Josie Jewell, Draymond Jones. Maybe you've got Randy Gregory coming back. Randy Gregory missed 11 games because of an injury he had last season. Maybe you get him back healthy, and maybe you got something to work with. But is Vance Joseph the guy you want in Denver? Is he the guy that's going to lead you to the promised land?
Yeah, the Cardinals were 21st.
See, they were 20-something.
If we go by yards allowed. So not great. Not the worst in the league, but you're in the bottom third. So not great. And I do think that, I guess to be fair to Vance Joseph, the offense not being able to stay on the field, you got to give him some leeway there, but 21's not good.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Is Sean Payton going to fix the offense there in Denver so that they don't go 3 and out all the time? And did Vance Joseph just sign up for another team that's going to be subpar again this year?
Well, what other choices did Vance have?
Oh, he had tons.
Where?
Could have taken a year off.
I mean,
Maybe and gone and seen the. You mean to tell me the Cardinals didn't pay him well?
I'm sure they did.
He's coming off of several years, 2 years in Colorado. I'm sure he got paid well in Colorado.
Some guys just like to work. Like if you have to work, like if you think you're a hot commodity, like Sean Payton, when he was done with the Saints and he saw the cap hell coming and just didn't want to deal with it, he can walk away.
If I'm Vance Joseph, I've got to wait for a better opportunity.
I would agree with you, but if you're desperate to work, you didn't have a ton of options this year to do it.
Arizona's a nice place to live. 9 months out of the year, it's a very pleasant place to live. 3 months out of the year, it's like living on the surface of the sun. But listen, there's air conditioning, Vance.
No, look, you're preaching to the choir. My ideal job is the golden parachute job, where I somehow do my job poorly and I get paid not to do the job anymore. That's the dream, you think, but some guys can't do it. Some guys have to just be working or they will go crazy.
I'm just thinking off the top of my pointy little head. If old pencil ear guy, what's his name?
Matt Patricia.
Oh, if he's going to the Broncos, there's got to be an opening with the Patriots, right?
No, I just think that he doesn't. Here's what I think about Matt Patricia. I don't know that there's necessarily an opening with the Patriots. Matt Patricia was not the defensive coordinator a year ago. They had him calling plays. For whatever reason, Bill Belichick decided this was a good idea. I think he's probably going to go back to doing defense next year, but he's already done the thing where he's called offensive plays. Nobody wants to be around to find out if you have to do that again. I'm not an offensive guy, and you're asking me to call offensive plays with the special teams coordinator. What is going on?
Joseph has been coaching in the league since 2005, started with the 49ers, coached D-backs for the 49ers, Houston, and Cincinnati before he was hired to be Miami's defensive coordinator in 2016.
Did have a good year, I think, in Miami that year, if I remember correctly.
Broncos win 5-11, 6-10 under Joseph in his 2 seasons as head coach with the team.
Which I think we can all agree, Vance Joseph should never be a head coach. It's just not him.
I guess if you're looking at Rex Ryan and Matt Patricia,
your options weren't great
as your leading candidates, and Vance Joseph meanders into the arena. I guess you got to go with Vance Joseph.
He is by far the superior option of those 3 guys.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Matt Patricia. I mean, with the pencil stuck in his ear. And by the way, who uses a number 2 lead pencil anymore except to do crossword puzzles?
And Sudoku, probably.
I know 2 people that do crossword puzzles in ink, and Matt Patricia is not one of them.
And anyway, you don't need the number 2 pencil. Your chart is laminated, Matt. It's laminated.
Well, there's that.
Your pencil will not work on plastic.
I think we covered this on the show before. Matt Patricia clearly using the pencil to get that itch, in the ear canal. Get in there with that eraser in there.
Yeah, it's probably not healthy.
Get in there instead of the Q-tip. You got that eraser. That abrasive eraser of a number 2 lead pencil.
Like the Q-tip's probably not healthy either.
Oh,
but
tell me.
It is leagues better than the number 2 pencil eraser.
I don't know about that.
Oh my God, man.
Have you seen that thing that squirrely thing they've come up with now for your ear? You put it in your ear canal and you turn it around and it's like a screw, like a corkscrew.
Yeah,
you'd open up and it's supposed to pull out all your ear wax.
I have seen that. I will get one of those. I keep forgetting when I go to the store, but I'm getting one because
have you seen the commercial for that?
I haven't seen the commercial.
I mean, my question is, dear God, who's got that kind of earwax and how the hell, welcome back to the world of the hearing. It was like 6 ounces of earwax you chunked out of your ear canal.
Like you didn't notice that you weren't hearing anything anybody was saying. You needed subtitles for your life. How do you not notice that?
I got to be honest with you, Vance Joseph. Good luck, Vance. I don't know you as a human being. I'd like to meet you. Good luck to you. I feel like you got a raw deal with Cliff Kingsbury and his so-called air raid offense that was grounded more than it was airborne.
So I don't know who the defensive coordinator for the Broncos was last year because I didn't care. I was so focused on Nathaniel Hackett just being a screw up of a coach, but the Broncos were 8th defensively last year. So just talent wise, they have so much talent. You don't have to do a whole lot.
So then Vance just needs to come in and kind of be a figurehead.
Yeah, just guide it.
So what you're saying?
Just guide it. They've got great defensive talent on that team.
All right.
They lost a bunch of games last year by 1 or 2 points because their offense couldn't get past 16 or 17 points.
What does that say about Matt Patricia? He had a pretty decent run at New England as the defensive coordinator. Left, took him and his number 2 lead pencil to Detroit, failed miserably there, went back to the Patriots. And then for some reason, Bill Belichick, who I think has dementia, put him in as an offensive coordinator, but he was like a co-offensive coordinator with Jeffrey Judge. Was it Jerry Jeudy? What the hell was his name?
Joe Judge.
And you get these 2 guys in there, and they couldn't run an offense. Then you got Mac and Cheese, who's throwing clipboards and footballs at these guys. They couldn't figure things out. And then all of a sudden, it's as if Matt Patricia wakes up and he goes, I'm a defensive coordinator. Maybe I could go apply for a job somewhere else. I'm just saying. I mean, think about it for a second. That seems to be the last, several years of Matt Patricia's football career. Him and that damn number 2 pencil.
Yeah.
And who really, Sean Payton must have been hitting the vodka that day when he was considering bringing back Footboy.
Oh, Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan from the ESPN.
He was desperate. That to me is the desperation.
So clearly he got Vance Joseph in there, and he's like, you're actually a defensive coordinator. I'll hire you.
Couldn't have been a tough choice to make. It really couldn't have been.
I'm just saying. I'm just exploring all possibilities.
And Vance Joseph interviewed well enough to become a head coach in this league.
Well, Sean, here's what I think we ought to do. We ought to run some of these plays here and stop the team on 3rd and short, and then turn the ball back over to your offense. What do you think about that? You're hired, man. You're hired. All right. So Vance Joseph, gainfully employed again. Everybody in Arizona, you can relax, breathe a sigh of relief. Vance Joseph hired with the Denver Broncos and Denver. I'm sorry. That's all I want to say about that. I'm sorry. So we've got Vance Joseph with a new job. And then I saw this very interesting today. J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt is still getting texts about submitting to an NFL drug test. I don't know if you caught wind of this.
I saw a little bit of it, yeah.
So J.J. Watt got a text, apparently. He had already retired. He submitted his paperwork. He's done everything he's supposed to do. And today, he got not today, but recently, he got a text, and it says, hey, this is I don't know, Dylan. This is Dylan from the NFL. I need you to submit to a one of those drug tests. You've been selected for a HGH dry blood spot test, is what he says. Please give me a call or shoot me a text when you can. Thanks. Did AJ Dillon? Did this Dillon guy? Did he not get the memo that JJ is retired?
He must not have.
Hey, hit me up. You'll slide into my DMs and we'll connect, JJ. I need to get an HGH dry blood test from you. And then JJ Watt's like, do I send this to junk? What
do I do with it?
Is this spam? What do I do with this?
Because if he doesn't comply, what are they going to do? Suspend him?
I don't know what happens when you click report junk, but I think I'm about to find out. So clearly JJ Watt not submitting anything because, well, he's retired from the NFL. He no longer has to go and do this.
And now he hasn't done the paperwork, but he is retired. Why are they sending him anything?
This is not the way I wanted to meet, AJ Dillon tweets. JJ Watt still being tested for HGH for some reason, even in his retired state from the NFL. Maybe they saw him at the Phoenix Open. Maybe they saw him in that T-shirt he was wearing. Dear God, the T-shirt was screaming because his arms are so big. Anyway,
it's one of those T-shirts. It looks like a smarge.
Oh yeah,
so it's a large shirt clearly because he did get it on his body, but it looks small on him.
It went on his body like this. Ah! That's what it sounded like in his bedroom when he put that on. All right, honey, grab the clubs. We're leaving. I'll get the baby. JJ Watt being is summoned to submit a test. I don't think that's happened. I don't think JJ Watt is going to submit an HGH dry blood spot test. I'm thinking JJ Watt submitted that to junk so it never happens again. 888-368-1580. Just getting underway here on the Daily Blender as we head for 6 o'clock tonight. So much to talk about. We got some free agency stuff to talk about. We got some baseball to talk about. We got some more NFL to talk about. We got some NBA to talk about. It's all around the corner here on this edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
College basketball tonight. UConn at home to take on Providence in Big East play. The Huskies favored by 7.5 points, minus 320. The Friars plus 255, over under 142. Number 6 Virginia, 9.5-point road favorite against Boston College. The Cavaliers minus 450. BC plus 340, over under 127.5. Number 2, Alabama, favored by 17.5 points on the road against South Carolina, minus 2,000 on the money line, over under 148. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer, Christine.
I'm a director and a performer. I got a free phone from Cricket and I've used it to live stream 73 of my shows on social media.
How do you like it?
It's fabulous.
Switch to Cricket and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial, limited time. Must bring your number to Cricket on a $60 a month first month service charge and tax due in sale. Phone streams video and SD. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
1580 The Fanatic is your home for college basketball action.
Saturday morning, Villanova looks to get their first quad win of the season as they head to Omaha to take on the Creighton Blue Jays. Tip time at 9:30.
Listen to all the action live from premier games and conference showdowns, high-paced action, last-minute buzzer beaters, and all the drama that is college basketball, all in one place. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is Thursday night, which means NBA on TNT on Thursday night, and you can get in on the action with a same-game parlay. No sweat, same-game parlay from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel, already have an account. Every Thursday night, you'll get bonus bets back if your same-game parlay doesn't hit. NBA same-game parlays, perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Build your own or choose from one of the popular same-game parlays already conveniently made for you in the FanDuel Sportsbook app. However you want to play, you can bet the NBA on TNT every Thursday night. That's tonight, gang. With a no-sweat same-game parlay, go to FanDuel.com/Randy1580 to learn more and download FanDuel today to get in on all the action. Again, that's a promo code FanDuel.com/Randy1580 and make every moment more this NBA season with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, 21 and older, present in Arizona. 3 legs, minimum $1 required, minimum $1 bet required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Let's go to the text line. CK on there. Go. Good afternoon, fellas. Randy, beer me. Broncos with the win on coaching hires, unlike the Turdinals. Maybe I won't beer you.
How about that?
Maybe I won't do that, CK. What do you think of that?
Didn't see that plot twist coming.
Huh. Apparently I have all the leverage, don't I, CK? You call my team Turdinals, I withhold the beverage. But I'm going to go ahead and beer you anyway. Because that's the kind of guy I am.
Randy's a better person than me.
Watermelon says, I love how Randy says, slide into my DMs. Did I say something wrong, Ken?
No, that's literally what he did. He got into JJ's DMs.
So does he say something like,
Watermelon? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Why don't you slide into my DMs? Wow.
Ooh.
See what I just did there?
Yeah. Wow. That's
somewhere in the valley of Watermelon right now is going, damn.
Watermelon's blushing a little bit.
See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
888-368-1580. So, Keon, I want to ask you some rumors out there. Mike Florio was on the NBC Sports Pro Football Talk show thing. Mike Florio says there's a possibility, outside as it might be, that the Commanders trade for, wait for it, Lamar Jackson. Have you heard that news?
I have heard that rumor. It's been floating around.
Are you quivering with anticipation at the thought of Lamar Jackson possibly
at the very idea
heading towards Washington, D.C. and your beloved Commandos?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not holding my breath for it because, like you said, it is an outside chance. But I've got my finger on the pulse.
So, what does a trade look like? Washington to Baltimore for Lamar. Obviously, you got to give up the ranch. You got to give away a couple of first round.
Yeah, we're
picks.
probably not going to have a first rounder for like the next 4 years.
Does it matter?
No, because then it'll answer your franchise quarterback question,
right?
Which is better than wasting the 4 picks trying to find a guy.
I will personally buy you that T-shirt that says "F those first round picks."
Seriously, it's not. It doesn't mean anything if you get the guy.
F those first round picks. That's what I say. And we already know that Riverboat Ron, he's a bit of a gambler anyway.
Mm-hmm. And he's got full control of the organization.
So what happens to your Commandos if Lamar shows up there in the maroon and gold?
I fall into a coma and don't wake up until September because I don't know. I'll be so happy. I mean, I don't know what that guarantees, but he'll be the best quarterback that stepped on that field in my life.
Since RG3, perhaps?
At least since RG3, and he's better than RG3. You know, he's been more successful. He's done more. He's accomplished more. You know, now, RG3 was great, but it was a 1 year thing. With Lamar.
It's because he got annihilated.
Yeah, that's not completely his fault, and I get that. And the coaching staff should have not. You know, he's a player. He's going to want to go out there and play. They should have protected him from himself. There's other extenuating reasons, but whatever the reason is, Lamar's done more. He's been able to, you know, stay healthier. Even the times where he does miss games, it's still worth it to have him.
I mean, I would be so happy for you, man.
Oh my God. And you put that to Eric Bieniemy's offense. Oh my God.
Well, see, that's the connection right there. That's exactly where I was going to go next. You bring in Lamar Jackson. You partner him with Eric Bieniemy.
Add to that running game. And Lamar's never had a stable of great wide receivers. I mean, I'm not going to say that Washington has like the best wide receiver room, but Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson are a really good place to start.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, what could he ask for? I mean, Baltimore was giving up the ghost last season. Remember? How do you think we got Hollywood Brown? They didn't want to pay him. And now he's a Cardinal, right?
And Hollywood Brown also wanted a bigger role in the offense. And at the time, Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator. Well, Greg Roman's a really smart offensive coordinator. But one thing Greg Roman doesn't do is throw the football.
Which is why he's unemployed now.
Yeah. Wide receivers do not like to play in that offense. And I think that you throw Lamar Jackson into an offense that opens things up a whole lot more, and you give him some wide receiver talent to play with. And then you add all the stuff that Eric Bieniemy brings to an offense, putting guys in motion, being able to deceive defenses with different looks. I'm excited. I'm excited about the possibility. I'm not even going to lie to you.
I mean, it's a bit of a long shot, a bit of an outside possibility. Damn.
And it would rely on some things that are absolutely outside of Washington's control. Like,
I think between me, you, and Jeffrey, you would win the offseason if that happened.
I mean, which of course I hate to say, because Washington has won many off seasons before, hasn't resulted in any actual season wins.
Come on, I mean, doesn't Lamar Jackson go into the Commandos instantly make you a playoff contender? Instantly.
Yeah, because they were last year. They were a contender last year.
With Lamar Jackson, you're going to beat the Dallas Cowgirls. You're going to compete against the Philadelphia Eagles.
I mean, we beat the Eagles with Heineke. Can you imagine adding Lamar? That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, man.
Just throwing that out there.
And then if you pick up some running back in free agency or in the draft.
I mean, I don't even think they need to do that.
Somebody that comes in you're not expecting to be, but he ends up being like a Tony Pollard. He averages 5.6 or something from the line of scrimmage.
Brian Robinson was basically doing that last year after, he came back from being shot. Yeah, he was basically.
I forgot about Brian. He's still on the team.
He's still on the team. And so is Antonio Gibson, who is also awesome. I'm saying Washington's had good skill position
now
players.
You could just take your whatever draft picks you have left if you don't give up the whole farm.
Throw it at offensive line.
Exactly.
Just throw it at offensive line until you finally get something going.
I mean, I feel the steam building here. I feel the steam building here.
Draft that Osiris Torrance if you can get him, and then just go from there. I would be over the moon. I don't think my feet would touch the ground for several months. I would just float everywhere I went.
Cecil the Wonder Dog agrees with you.
Thank you, Cecil. Like, yeah, that would be amazing. That would obviously be amazing.
Currently started barking. He's now running around the house. Crazy. He's saying the praises of Lamar Jackson to the Commandos. Miss Kim doesn't understand that. I mean, how fun would that be?
That would be incredibly fun. I can't.
So if you had the first overall pick in free agency, Lamar is your quarterback. Who are you taking first overall in the fantasy draft?
I took Lamar last year. I'd take him again.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, man. Lamar single-handedly won games for me last year, and my season went down the toilet the instant he got hurt.
Well, it's got to tell you something.
It does, yeah. My entire strategy was Lamar Jackson. But I think, look, he is, when we talk about one of these younger quarterbacks, the young guns that we like to call him, he's one of the guys in the upper echelon of that group. You know, I think I have Mahomes and Allen in their own stratosphere. And then that next level down, Lamar's right there.
Oh, I think he's up there. I don't think he's down below these guys. I think he's up there. 888-368-1580. CK asked me the question, Randy, how do you know so much about the screaming in J.J. Watt's bedroom? Does Miss Kim approve? Was talking about his shirt.
J.J. Watt's shirt was screaming for its very life.
A smarge instead of the extra large. He had the smarge on because his enormous arms had to cut through those armholes in that medium to large shirt. The Marge shirt, medium to large. Berg, hey Scott, how you doing, man? Berg, how you doing? How you feeling? Good to hear from you. Just get and wear that fantasy shirt, and you won't have to worry about who your QB is, Keon. Just get and wear that fantasy shirt, and you won't have to worry about who your QB is, Keon.
Berg, let it go. Not wearing the shirt. I'm not bad at fantasy football. Don't care what anybody says. No, I'm not bad at the game. Sure, I lose to you all the time.
Well, he calls you a bye week.
Yeah, that's true. And
I was going to bring that up.
I haven't beaten Berg.
Ever. The mood was so great here. I didn't want to kick you into.
That's the thing. My mood cannot be brought down today. I'm having such a good day.
I mean, when there's talk of Lamar to the Commandos, give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, nothing good happens to this team. And already, I think that the best offensive coordinator that was available, they got him. And in free agency, quarterbacks might come available that is going to be the best quarterback available. And if they get him, you cannot bring me down. No one could. It would be impossible.
Let's see if this brings you down. Berg responds, all good. Keon knows the shirt I'm talking about.
It's a shirt that says I suck at fantasy football, and it's got a unicorn on it, and it's a very hurtful shirt. Like
Berg hits you with another one. Bye week, Keon, sing song.
Well, Berg, I'm not even going to be a bye week for you this year because I'm not even going to be in the Premier League. It's not the own that I thought it was when I started talking, but it's true.
Mr. Welber says, in the dictionary under definition of commando, there's a photo of Keon. You're damn right. Boy, I hope that happens just for you, man.
Oh, my God.
No, I hope that happens just for you. All right, 888-368-1580 as we continue on here. Just got a couple of minutes, but I want to bring this up here. Remember yesterday, Shady McCoy?
Mm-hmm.
He was all bad-mouthing Eric Bieniemy.
I kind of lost my mind a little bit.
Yeah, I guess Patrick Mahomes maybe heard that, and he wants to respond. As Eric Bieniemy officially introduced today as the new offensive coordinator and assistant head coach for the Commandos. He answered every question from why he chose Washington, his appreciation for Kansas City, to potentially being a head coach. He did say something about LaShawn McCoy's comments. And several of Bieniemy's former players defended him, making McCoy's comments look like those of a bitter ex-player. Thursday, Patty Mahomes, he tweeted this out. There should be no questions on how great of a man/coach Coach Bieniemy is. He did the coach there. See what he did?
Yeah. Little coach action.
Man/coach. Coach Bieniemy is. His leadership has a direct impact on the players/person I am today. 10 plus years learning under one of the greatest coaches of all time. And I cannot wait for him to continue to prove doubters wrong. And then he's got the flexing muscles. I think it's JJ Watt's bicep in a what do you call that? Those little tiny emoji things. Is it emoji? Is that what it's called?
It's an emoji. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there it is. Patrick Mahomes has got Eric Bieniemy's back.
And of course, Bieniemy himself responded to the Shady McCoy comments with class, by the way.
Well, he's a class individual, I think.
Yeah, it's so interesting to me because one of the things I heard was that he didn't interview well in a lot of these coaching interviews. I saw a guy at the press conference, and yes, I did watch the entire half hour of his
no kidding. Yeah. No kidding. Wow.
Dude is well-spoken. He's intense. You know, he demands perfection. Like, it's everything I want in a coach. Like, if I was looking for a head coach, that would be all the things that I would want in a head coach. So, you know, as far as him not interviewing well, I don't know what some of these general managers and front office guys were looking at, because he knocked it out of the park.
Well, you know what? He's in a new place now. He's got an opportunity, and I know he's going to make the best of it. Boogie text in at 888-368-1580 and ask the question: What league did bye week go to? Come on, Boogie. Come on, really,
Boogie.
Come on,
you
Boogie.
Just hope that it's not your week, because
it's Thursday.
The bye week will be you, friend.
Come on, Boogie.
I would flatten you.
It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
No one else does what I do in diamonds. Hi, Diamond Dave Cantor, the only wholesale diamond dealer open to you by appointment. I import diamonds directly from cutters from around the world. We have the lowest overhead office of anyone in the diamond business. No one else with fourth generation connections, direct diamond importing, and design and manufacturing works directly with you except me.
No one else can do what Diamond Dave does. Call him today at 480-397-2450. Reach him on Instagram at Diamond Dave KANTOR.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer, Christine.
I'm a director and a performer. I got a free phone from Cricket, and I've used it to live stream 73 of my shows on social media.
How do you like it?
It's fabulous.
Switch to Cricket and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial, limited time. Must bring your number to Cricket on a $60 a month first month service charge and tax with sale. Phone streams video and SD. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Weekends now through April 2nd. Great shopping, a giant crafts market. New shows featuring sea fairies, mermaids, and merriments. Non-stop feasting and more. The Renaissance Festival is back.
Weekends now through April 2nd. Discount tickets available at Bashers and Food City or Arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashers, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, welcome back to a Thursday edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Tonight, 7 o'clock, AIA basketball action. You'll hear it live here on the big flamethrower. Tomorrow night, GCU is at the arena in Phoenix there, and they're welcoming in Seattle U to a butt kicking. It's going to be a butt kicking of Seattle, the Seattle Ukuleles, 7 p.m. If you can't make it to the arena for the butt kicking, you can hear it live. It'll unfold for you live here. Michael Potter on the call. And then Saturday morning, some college basketball as we head towards the March Madness. In the morning at 10 a.m., it's Creighton at Villanova. Villanova needs to do something. Boy, are they having a season. And I am not talking about good. Villanova needs to do something. And they've got to face Creighton to do it. So that's 10 o'clock. And then at 3:45, NCAA basketball, St. Mary's at Gonzaga. That's 3:45 on Saturday. There's no race on Sunday. I don't really have anything but regular programming on Sunday. Next week will be fun, though. You want me to tell you what's going on next week?
Yeah, let's go for it.
I mean, only Tuesday night, AIA basketball at 7 o'clock. Then on Wednesday night, it is Grand Canyon University in Southern Utah at 7 p.m. They'll be in Cedar City, Utah. And then on Thursday night, it's NCAA basketball action, Michigan at Illinois at 4:45. What? Did you say next Thursday at 4:45 is NCAA basketball action? Michigan at Illinois. Yeah, that's what I said. You know what that means.
Yep.
You know what that means.
It's time for the madness.
The madness is starting to wind up here. All day Saturday, March 4th. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning on March 4th with the AIA show. And then it goes right into the damn basketball programming. You've got games starting at 10, another one at noon, another one at 2, another one at 4. AIA basketball, we have you covered wall to wall next Saturday for the basketball playoffs live here on the big flamethrower.
All the conference tournaments are going to be going. It's going to be like basketball Thanksgiving. It's just going to be just a basketball food coma. You're going to have to loosen your belt buckle, kind of recline on the couch.
I like that. Yeah,
I'm here for it.
There's a lot going on there. And then the week after that, I mean, it starts to get really busy here on the big station. I like Monday, March 6th. We're off again at 4:45. I mean, it's the Southern Conference Championship live here on the big station, March 6th. There you go. There's your rundown. I'm not going to go too far in advance. I don't want to bore you with all the details. I like some of this stuff to be a surprise. You know, sometimes I like to be a bride on wedding night. You know what I mean? I don't bring the good stuff out until it's the wedding night. Know what I'm saying? All right, 888-368-1580. Lots going on. Oh, Mr. Wilbur wants to know, Keon, have you ever slept with John Riggins? John Riggins?
No. I mean, he's awesome, but no, can't say that I have.
You have not shared a room with John Riggins?
No. I've never even shared a handshake with John Riggins.
I believe he was Super Bowl MVP, was he not?
I mean, he was.
I thought so.
He was. All I'm saying is, damn, let me buy him dinner first before we put me and John Riggins in a room.
Well, that's a good point.
You know.
That's a good point. 888-368-1580. Pardon my voice. Yesterday was blustery, and I was out in some of the wind. I had some mishaps here at the compound, and I I think I may have breathed in some of that stuff that was blowing around. I may have inhaled some of the dirty air.
Can't say that I blame you. It was hard to avoid yesterday. Seriously, the wind was just kicking up so much dust and God knows whatever else.
Yeah.
Had a nice giant cup of green tea just to.
Did you?
Yeah.
Maybe I need that green tea.
Try and get
Miss
throat
Kim
back
is
to it.
home with me today, so maybe I can ask her to make me one. Against the Spread says, had a good friend, went commando to a strip club wearing Umbros. Needless to say, he was ejected from the strip joint within 20 minutes. 20 minutes. How'd he get in with nothing but Umbros on?
What are Umbros? That's the question.
I don't even. I don't. Do you?
That's true. Why did I ask? I actually, I have a rule. I don't ask questions I don't want to know the answer to. Why did I ask that question? Violated my own rule.
Boogie asked. Let's change the subject just real quick here. Boogie asked, "Are you guys doing a March Madness remote at a sports book, maybe in Vegas?"
In Vegas, Boogie?
No, wait. Let's not shoot it down quick.
Not just yet, but we do have some
Hang
sports
on.
books in town.
Hang on, just a second here. Hang on. When's the last time you were in Vegas?
Never. I've never been to Vegas.
See? Hang on now.
I mean, are you saying we might be able to?
Yeah, I don't know, Boogie. Maybe Radio Ron is going to surprise us and send Jeffrey, myself, and Keon to Vegas with the remote equipment, and we'll be spending, March Madness in Vegas. I don't know. I don't know. Berg wants you to know Umbros equals soccer shorts.
All right. The mental image is starting to become clearer, and I'm sorry that that's happening to me.
Back to Boogie. I want to talk more about it. Maybe Radio Ron, will send us to Vegas to broadcast live. I think that's a great idea, Boogie. We're going to submit that in triplicate to Radio Ron. I think we need to do that. We turned down going to Radio Row because that's not our thing. But at Vegas, it's a whole different thing. Just work with me on this, Keon.
Oh, yeah.
It's a whole different thing in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Radio Row, I mean, that's just, a broken down football player. But Vegas,
that's a
hey,
different
March
world.
Madness, perhaps poolside at the Bellagio. I'm thinking that's where we need to broadcast live. I'm sure Radio Ron right now, wherever he is working on that. Radio Ron just happens to text in 888-368-1580. Harmon Solar Brackets Challenge coming soon. Harmon Solar Bracket Challenge coming soon.
I love it.
Which I think it might be code for, yes, I'm going to send you and Keon and Jeffrey to Vegas. I think that's what that means.
I thank you, Radio Rob. Very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Pinocchio says, Randy, green tea with a shot of Japanese whiskey will cure that throat rumble. Thank you. I don't think I have Japanese whiskey. Could ask Miss Kim.
I didn't have Japanese whiskey. I just had regular green tea. I didn't even realize that was an option.
I know we probably have green tea somewhere in the house. But we have a entire cabinet, not cabinet, it's a tray. We call it the whiskey tray. There's an sundry of whiskey sitting on this tray. I don't know of any Japanese whiskey in there. I'll have to check. Boogie, Keon has never been to Vegas. Road trip! Boogie, no one said you could go with us. No one said you could do that.
Just shot him out of the sky.
Well, I mean, I love Boogie, and he'll tell you I love him. I love him dearly, but he can't go with us. We have to have a way to get home. Boogie says definitely code from Radio Ron. Let's start planning the road trip. No, I have to wait for confirmation. See, it's just like the military. You get the code, but then you got to have the confirmation code. You don't start launching nukes without the confirmation code. Berg, and how's Keon never been to Vegas? I don't know. Berg, why don't you ask him?
What am I, made of money? I lived on the East Coast. How was I going to get to Vegas?
Hey, honey, do we have any Japanese whiskey? I'll find out if we, because that green tea was a shot of Japanese whiskey.
I mean, how have I never been
looking good? All right, 888-368-1580. So CBS Sports came up with a list of the 100 top free agents. I think personally what they found was they found a list of all the free agents that are out there, and they have ranked them thusly. And I want to ask you, Keon Rose, sexiest man in sports talk radio, tell me, if you will, what you think about this list. I'm just going to pick on a few. I'm not going to hit 100, but I'm going to hit some of the guys that I think we all know. Kyle Van Noy, Los Angeles Chargers outside linebacker. He's 32 in late March, coming off a good season. They have him ranked number 96. Can you tell me why Kyle Van Noy is listed way down at 96?
Yeah, I just think it's more of a positional thing. It's just, not every linebacker fits in every system. He's incredibly intelligent. He's coming off a good season, but he's been good, So, for him, it's just a matter of, is there more in the tank for him and how much more? And is there a system that he fits into? Because not every linebacker in every system has the same responsibilities, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes along with that. But yeah, I think that's probably why he's down there.
All right, at 89, they have listed Jacoby Brissett. I think this is not accurate. Capable starter in place of sex offender in Cleveland, and he did well. He kept the team in the games. He moved the ball around. He helped the team win. Jacoby Brissett, is he where he needs to be at 89, or should he be higher?
I think so, just because he would be considered a bridge quarterback or a backup quarterback, and he would be incredibly important for whatever team got him. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea if the Cardinals, snagged him in light of not being able to maybe sift through some better options. But I think as far as a bridge quarterback goes, Jacoby Brissett is a really good option, but I don't think you would put bridge quarterback ahead of some of the other positions that are there, because I was looking at this list and it's a really deep list. I mean, there's a lot of free agent names that are out there.
Yeah. At 83, they've got Hayden Hurst, the Cincinnati Bengals tight end. He had 52 catches this year, but 13 in 3 playoff games. What do you think about Hayden Hurst? Should he be higher on the list, or is he ranked appropriately?
He should probably be higher on the list, because there's probably some teams out there that could use his services at tight end. The dude that was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, which I feel like is enough of a compliment, because the Ravens do an incredible job of drafting tight ends in particular. Obviously the Mark Andrews pick is working out in dividends. And the reason why they moved on from Hayden Hurst is because Mark Andrews is still one of the more dominant tight ends in the game, and they just didn't need to keep him on the books once his rookie deal was up. They went ahead and drafted Isaiah Likely, who looks like another guy who's going to be a great tight end. So when the Ravens draft a guy, they're good. That's generally how that goes. And I think Hayden Hurst has shown in multiple places, in Baltimore, in Atlanta, and now more recently in Cincinnati, that he is a really good tight end. And I think he should be higher, just because tight end is a position where you can do a lot of cool things. I mean, look at what Kittle does with the Niners. Look at what Kelsey does with the Chiefs. I mean, there's an offense where he's not going to look like those guys, obviously, but he can probably pop for somebody and give them, a boost offensively.
What about at 66, Mecole Hardman? He missed a lot of time with injuries last year. Is that why he's ranked at 66? Because this guy is a speedy wide receiver, a guy that can get behind the secondary. Damn, we're going to have to do this after the top, but go ahead. Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, Mecole Hardman the injuries have to be why. You might be concerned about him going through that again, because once a guy gets hit with the injury bug, sometimes they never come back to being the same player that they were. But if he can, like you said, Mecole Hardman can flat out flop.
All right, we'll continue this after the top of the hour. We've got 1 hour in the books already. Our text line is open at 888-368-1580. We've got some people on the text line. I'll get to those when we come back here. Also, we're talking ranking the top free agents right now, and be listening. Maybe your team wants to pick up one of these guys. Also, the Astros didn't add a veteran pitcher in the offseason because, Dusty Baker says because they didn't have a general manager. The hell's going on in Houston? When they're only defending a world champion, shouldn't they have general manager? We'll talk about that and much more, and your text next hour here on the Daily Blender.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. Major League Baseball spring training is in full swing. Let's go around the league and get ready for the season. Kevin Durant is reportedly out until next week, but Suns have a couple big games before then. NHL trade deadline's coming up. Coyotes made one move. What else is on the horizon? ASU is in Tucson Saturday for men's basketball. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. here on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. It's an 11-mile stretch of Interstate 10 between Loop 202 and I-17. When complete, your travel time through the area will be reduced. Access to Sky Harbor, retail centers, and colleges will be improved. And the region will be able to better support a growing economy and more. Keep up with the project and traffic updates at i10broadwaycurve.com and stay ahead of the curve. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
It's a Thursday edition of the Daily Blender on the Big Flamethrower, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, as we come to you live from the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale and the CRC Broadcasting Megaplex. You're texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580. We have 1 hour down. We're into hour number 2 as we continue talking to you, Fourth Dimension, and cover, what's relating to sports today. Jeffrey O'Brien is out today. Over there, that's the sexiest man in sports talk radio, Keon Rose. You know who I am. I don't need to talk about it. We're talking about free agents last hour, and we're still going to rank free agents. I'm going to go to the text line for a second. Jagdog says, Keon, you're out of your damn mind if you think Jackson wants to play in that jacked up FedEx Field. Guess you'll have to settle for Jimmy G or Carson Wentz.
I don't know. You keep saying the Carson Wentz thing like it means something to me. Carson's not on the team anymore. So that's one. 2, I already told you, this is my year. So many things are happening that are good. First off, we're getting a new owner. New owner means new stadium. Don't worry, we're not going to be at the jacked up FedEx Field forever. We're moving on. And then you get the new offensive coordinator, and it's Eric Bieniemy. Oh, come on. If Lamar Jackson is available and they pull that, it's going to be 3 layers of just happiness for me. Owner, offensive coordinator, quarterback. Look, I cannot be stopped right now. Okay, my mood is through the roof. It's through the ozone layer.
888-368-1580. Boomer Sooner for some reason says good stormy day. Blender Nation, Randy, beer me, Boomer Sooner. Well, I know there's a chance of rain later on today, but hell, today I was outside earlier. It's nice. The trees aren't sideways.
Yeah,
there's not small children and animals flying across my front lawn. My trash dumpsters are not falling over in the backyard, floating around like aliens. My barbecue covers are firmly latched on my smokers. I don't have ashes from my most recent cigar floating around the backyard. My neighbors are not hanging on for dear life from their porch, brace poles that are upright poles. It's nice outside, man. Cool, a little cool for me, but that's okay.
Look, I will just settle for the valley not looking like the 1930s Dust Bowl.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yesterday it looked like that and felt like that. Today was good.
Big George, hello, gentlemen. Happy Thursday. Did you see the breaking news? Kevin Durant will not be playing tomorrow. He's scrimmaging with the team, but is not playing quite yet. Go Suns.
We actually broke that yesterday.
Yeah. I think we talked about it yesterday. Big George, where were you? CK, Randy, it'll be like just you and Keon, considering Jeffrey doesn't show up at work. He shows up all the time.
Jeffrey's working right now.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah. He's not here in the studio, but he's working. CK.
Not to give you the full view behind the curtain, but we all have on-air duties.
I think there's a misunderstanding between Boogie and myself. Randy, I want to go. Okay, I understand that. So you can go. You just can't travel with us.
No one can stop you from going to Vegas. You're
in the weather jet. You can't travel with us in the weather jet. Tiger Paws wants to know where Nicholas Morrow is on the list. I'm going to Vegas in March for my birthday. Tiger Paws. Birthday in Vegas. Tiger Paws. I don't know what to say about that. Speaking of free agency, before we get back to our list, Cardinals' new regime may have envisioned planning their offense around Kyler Murray, but that doesn't mean it'll be apparent anytime soon. Murray suffered ACL tear last December. Team owner Michael Bidwell said on the upcoming Dave Pasch podcast, appears that Arizona can only hope the quarterback will return before midseason. In the meantime, the team might also be without backup Colt McCoy, the number 2 quarterback, recovering from his own injury. Colt is coming back from an injury that's going to limit him in the offseason. It's another set of dynamics that the coaching staff has to work through, and the general manager, Monty Osenfort, will have to, we'll see what exactly the plan is. That's for the guys to figure out, end quote. Now, Colt McCoy's 37 years old, and he's playing injured already. They have candidates in line, kind of. Jarrett Stidham could bring him in. Case Keenum, they could bring him in.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater, they could bring him in. Jacoby Brissett, he would be a capable, quote unquote, bridge quarterback.
And of course, the offensive coordinator just worked with him.
See, this is the guy here that I'm thinking they need to bring in. This is a guy that we don't deserve. It's a guy that we need. This is the man who should come in here and save us from everything that's going to be happening early on in the NFL season. This is the man who could bring us a wealth of greatness in the first part of the 2023 NFL season. Who am I speaking of? Well, let me tell you, he's probably the most intriguing of the bunch of guys I just said to you. He's flashed starting level moxie.
Oh no.
He's only going on 27. He's got effective numbers as a 24-game starter. I think this is precisely the kind of younger veteran you'd want in a quarterback room. He's a locker room favorite. He's also got an obvious connection to Jonathan Gannon. I think you know who I'm speaking of now. It was the guy that was number 2 behind Jalen Hurts. I speak none other than the hero we all need. Gardner damn Minshew. That's what I'm saying. Why couldn't we bring in Gardner Minshew and let him take the Cardinals into the new era under Jonathan Gannon? Why wouldn't this be the greatest starting quarterback of all time to bridge the gap up to Kyler Murray? Tell me why this is a bad idea, Keon Rose.
He's 8-16 as a starter. That's it. That's my only pushback. Obviously, a couple of those last year filling in for Jalen Hurts in an offense that was designed for Jalen and not him. So I do cut him slack there. And of course, he started in Jacksonville, not Jacksonville this year, but Jacksonville in 2019 when they were pretty bad. and he went 500 there.
Did you not hear all the great buildup I gave you?
I know. Did
you not hear all of the great reasons why he should be here? And he's not the hero we need. He's the hero we deserve. Did you not hear all that?
I did. And I feel really bad about being the fly in the ointment there.
888-368-1580.
I just got to be honest. He would be fun, though. He would be fun.
Just go ahead to our. I'm pretty bummed out now.
I'm sorry about that. I feel terrible.
As you should.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I need a moment.
Can't blame you. Can't blame you. I apologize. Just brought the show down from like a 10 to a 2.
You know, I was going along so well.
Yeah. Flying high.
Somebody asked about Nicholas Morrow. I don't even remember who it is now.
I think it was Tiger Paws. Yeah.
Tiger Paws. I'm going to try to suffer through this. And
I don't believe he's on the list, but
I don't see Nicholas Morrow on here anymore. I see Miles Sanders, running back.
Mm-hmm.
Great season for the Eagles. They've got him ranked at 53. Do you believe that's where they need to have him ranked? Number 53 on this list?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of wear and tear because of the running back by committee in Philadelphia. I think he's shown.
I can't believe you just shot down Gardner Minshew. Go ahead.
Look, you and Jeffrey love Gardner Minshew in a way that I fully can. I'm just not there. I'm not there. I like Gardner Minshew, but you guys love Gardner Minshew.
I mean, I can't believe you just did that.
I look, there are pros and cons to Gardner Minshew. So Miles Sanders, he's a quality running back and a guy that's pretty fresh, as far as that position is concerned. And anytime you pick up a free agent running back, you feel like you're always, playing this game of hot potato where are you going to be the team that has the guy when the gas finally runs out of the car? And I think that with someone like him, because of how Philadelphia played, you don't have to worry about that. He doesn't have that wear and tear. I like him there. And I think that in an offense that relied more on him, the production would go up.
He's not Gardner Minshew.
Well, of course not. He's a running back, so obviously he's going to be doing.
This is surprising to me at number 45. This is surprising to me.
Okay.
We're talking about free agencies, ranking them, 1 to 100. At number 45, Patrick Peterson. Is he going to be picked up by another team? Are the Minnesota Vikings going to re-sign him, or is he just going to go off into oblivion? Which I think it's what it probably should do.
Damn.
He's no longer he's no longer really a cornerback. He's sort of a bullfighter back there. You know, he doesn't tackle. He just kind of
Well, of course he didn't tackle, but he can still cover a little bit. And he's not going to be your primary option. If you need a number one corner, you need somebody to lock down the best receiver on the other team, and you go after Patrick Peterson, he's going to get roasted alive. But if you need a guy that's number 2, number 3 at this stage in his career, he can do that. You know, he can add value to a team if you really need one. And having a corner, you know, that's just quality, a veteran guy that knows how to play, as much as Patrick Peterson wore out his welcome when he was here, and as much nonsense as he's talked since he's left, he can still play the position at a high enough level that, you know, somebody in need of a number 2, number 3 kind of corner, he'll be perfect for that.
Number 2 or number 3, really?
Yeah.
You think he's still got the skills to do that?
I think he was 2 or 3 last year in Minnesota, and he played pretty well because he was no longer covering the number 1 guy.
Boy, he was terrible here. That's why we got rid of him.
Yeah, but he can still play.
I like this guy at 41, and I like this guy just specifically for his name. The Raiders traded it to get him from the Colts, and they were glad they did. He impressed in their scheme, showing off a nice man cover skills. He's a cornerback, Rock Ya-Sin.
It's
Ya-Sin,
another all-name teamer, and also somebody who looked like he was a bust originally when he was drafted by the Colts. But what the Raiders wanted from him, he's perfect for. And unlike Patrick Peterson, if you want to point it out, he can hit. I mean, not a whole lot of corners want to, but he likes to.
So at 41, should he be higher on the list, do you think?
No, probably not. I'm looking at some of the names above him, and I think that he's probably right where he should be. This is a good spot on the list. I mean, 45 is pretty high up. When we're
now you're starting to get up into elite status. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, some of the guys that are up there pretty great. So yeah, I think right around there is where he ought to be.
I know we have a few. Excuse me. I know we have a few guys on the offensive line that are free agents this year, and I don't know if we bring them back, but I would sure like to see us bring in Nate Davis, Tennessee Titans OG, offensive guard. He's at number 37. What do you think of him?
Well, first off, I do like that he's a Titan, because that means that Monty has probably more information on this guy than a lot of general managers in the league do, just from being a part of that organization and going through the process of acquiring him.
And he's only 27.
Yeah, and the other part is his age, and guards can play for a really long time. We know the Cardinals did struggle with the interior offensive line. That was a big problem for them. And, without Kyler Murray, I think that the Cardinals are going to be running the football a lot, and he's a really good run blocker. So all of those things, it would be a really good fit for the Cardinals. I like that. And yeah, I think you pick up the phone, try and see if you can get that guy.
At 22, Evan Ingram comes in from Jacksonville as a tight end. I think he's too high, but you tell me what you think.
Yeah, I think he's too high too. And I understand the need for people to get tight ends. And I also understand that if you look at Evan Ingram, everything on paper tells you this guy should be a whole lot better than what his career has been so far. He has been an underachiever. There's no other way to say it. He's incredibly gifted. He's got great hands. He's got good speed, but it just seems like he's inconsistent sometimes as a route runner. And despite the fact that I think he does have good hands, sometimes I think he gets distracted. He takes his eyes off the ball, and then he doesn't actually bring in passes that he's fully capable of catching. That's very frustrating. And so having one good year under Doug Peterson in Jacksonville, to me, doesn't erase all the other Evan Ingram that I saw when he was, in a Giant, for instance. I watched those games. I watched a lot of Evan Ingram, and he was underachieving. And when he was a target for Daniel Jones, the security blanket, and he wasn't doing a very good job of being the security blanket. I want to see more from Evan Ingram before I think this guy is a top 25 free agent in the National Football League.
All right, let's break the top 10. Well, actually, let's go 11. Josh Jacobs, does he deserve to be in the top 10? Or at 11, is that about right where he needs to be?
He does deserve to be in the top 10. He was awesome last year. The Raiders are, I think, obviously going to franchise tag him. I mean, if they don't, they're insane. So Josh Jacobs at 11, he's only at 11 because this list is kind of loaded up top. But, he's worthy of being in the top 10. Yeah, I mean, that conversation of him, or I think this list has Jason Kelce at 10. That is pretty interesting.
Jason Kelce's at 10. Daniel Jones is at 9. Jawan Taylor is at 8, the talented offensive tackle for Jacksonville, which I think they're going to keep him.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, if they don't use the franchise tag on him, it's going to be another one of those situations where it's just a no-brainer. The guy's just too good.
I think most of the guys I'm reading off here will be franchise tagged, or a new deal will be made out for him. Like at number 7, Orlando Brown. The Chiefs would be stupid. They would be absolutely asinine for them to let Orlando Brown walk. I mean,
yeah, and they gave up a bunch to get him by a trade from the Ravens.
Right.
And it's worked out wonderfully. This is a team that went up against the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and the Eagles last year did not have, the Eagles last year did have a bunch of sacks. They were about to basically set an NFL record and needed to get some in the Super Bowl and got none. And part of that is Orlando Brown.
I'm surprised by this. At number 5 is Saquon Barkley. Then it's Darren Payne at 4. You know him. He's a defensive tackle for your Commandos. Javon Hargrave. Then it's at number 2, Derek Carr, and number 1, Lamar Jackson. Now, I agree with Lamar Jackson, but Derek Carr at number 2?
Yeah. And because part of this is you've got to go based on positional value. And quarterbacks are incredibly important. And Derek Carr is a good enough quarterback that if you put him on a team that really needs one, that team is automatically a playoff contender, maybe a conference title game contender just by him showing up. So the position, I think, requires that you put him at 2 because he plays it at a high enough level that, I totally agree that he deserves to be there.
All right. When we come back, we'll get more of your texts and we'll move on here. Mississippi State has a pitcher that can potentially be more important than Shohei Ohtani. Could it be? We'll talk about that next here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym. Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get. Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me. I've seen that on TV. Is it for real? Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean. And it's made a difference for you? Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves? Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text TAP to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text TAP to 321-321. That's TAP to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
1580 The Fanatic is your home for college basketball action.
The number 12 Gonzaga Bulldogs hope to salvage their season this Saturday as they take on St. Mary's. Tip time is 3:45.
Listen to all the action live from Premier Games and Conference Showdowns. High-paced action, last-minute buzzer beaters, and all the drama that is college basketball. All in one place. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic, your home for all things happening NCAA. March Madness, yeah, it's going to be here live. AIA basketball, it's going to be here live. GCU basketball, yep, it's live here as well. And you are live here. And part of the action at 888-368-1580. A couple of people already texting in. Bruno Baller. Anybody that has spent time in Mojave County, maybe in Kingman or Bullhead or Lake Havasu, knows those windy days are quite often up there. Yeah, it's true. That's true. Thank you. Rye Guy says it's getting swifty in here. Swifty. It's getting swifty in here.
I don't know what that means. I'll be honest with you.
Swifty. Big George says, look at you guys breaking news so quickly. I must have missed that yesterday. How about Bobby Wagner and the LA Rams mutually agreeing to part ways? I'd love to see him in the Cardinals. Yes. Bobby Wagner to the Cardinals. Hello. That's not even hard. Hey, Monty Osifort. Hey, Bobby Wagner. Get him in the Cardinal red. Let's go ahead and get that done.
Pretty sure your head coach might be able to do some things with that guy.
Yeah. Bobby Wagner. I mean, the whole damn defense goes through Bobby Wagner. Eddie V, is Jeff George willing to come out of retirement? It's a good question. Jeff George. I think Eddie V is talking about a bridge quarterback for Kyler Murray. I think Eddie V is throwing shade at us.
Okay. I mean,
about my Cardinals. Here I am trying to be, a good guy, trying to talk about, all kinds of different sports. And, yet the fourth dimension likes to poke and prod me about my team, the Arizona Cardinals. Well, that's okay. It's all right. I have thick skin. I have broad shoulders.
The thing is, we mentioned some guys that the Cardinals might be interested in going to go get. So why would you go after the 55-year-old Jeff George? Even to be mean, I don't understand what that means.
Sorry, Daddy V. CK says Jeffrey always shows up for work. Ha 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 ha.
The dude is working right now.
Baker's cocky hands. No one gets themselves through self-inflicted adversity better than Gardner damn Minshew. Hammer time. I know. Bruno Baller said, did someone say George Jefferson should come out of retirement? No, it's Jeff George. Bruno Baller. 888-368-1580. We are continuing our way towards 6 o'clock tonight. Aaron Judge. I've got Jeff George on the brain, and now I have George Jefferson. Moving on up with Wheezy and the gang. Aaron Judge says he's skipping the World Baseball Classic because he wants to focus on, quote, more important things like the New York Yankees. So there's been a sort of a falling away of guys not going to be a part of the World Baseball Classic for Team USA. Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, Nolan Arenado, Pete Alonso, JT Realmuto are all a part of the Team USA. However, Aaron Judge is not. Also, some of the other guys will not be participating. Giancarlo Stanton will not be participating. Merrill Kelly from the Arizona Diamondbacks will not be participating.
You think he'd jump at the opportunity to do some winning, but
that's the thing. He's got to get ready. He's he says he's got things to do. He's got work to do. He can't afford time away at the World Baseball Classic, which is a different set of rules. I get it. different set of rules, different things you got to focus on. Then you come right out of there. You've missed, a good 2.5 weeks of spring training. Now you got to catch up with the team. Even though when you're in the World Baseball Classic, you're still working on your stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going out there, you're working out, you're getting yourself in shape, you're throwing. It's not like they're going to run you out there and make you throw a complete game. But I think what part of the problem, Kershaw is not going to be a part of Team USA. I mean, we're missing like significant guys. Yeah, okay. Nolan Arenado, Pete Alonso, JT Realmuto, Mike Trout, Mookie Betts. They'll be on Team USA. But do you know how many more people we could have on there? And it makes me think, kind of like I was ranting about yesterday, about the NBA All-Star game. Seems like to me, it occurs to me, I'm just thinking outside the lines here, that maybe this World Baseball Classic could be played at a different time.
It's not the best timing. Just seems like if you want to grow the sport, putting it before the Major League Baseball season, and there are other leagues obviously around the world, but the best players in the world, whether that's from Japan, whether that's from Latin America, whether that's from right here in Arizona, the best players in the world play in Major League Baseball. Perhaps putting the World Baseball Classic right when pitchers and catchers are starting to report and right before spring training isn't the best place to put this particular game.
Aaron Judge going in on a new 9-year agreement and named captain of the New York Yankees. I think, I would give him that. He's got to focus on the New York Yankees. I give him that. But there's other guys like Kershaw. I mean, Kershaw could play, but I read another article about they can't get insurance. The teams can't get insurance on guys.
Well, that's a non-starter. Nobody's going to risk their health. Again, not that the World Baseball Classic is meaningless, because, of course, a game like that helps to grow the sport, but it doesn't have the same meaning as the team you're contractually obligated to play for.
I mean, it seems to me, and maybe I'm just cuckoo, but it seems to me that the World Baseball Classic, or the WBC, as some of the talking heads like to say, it seems to me the WBC could be played at a different time of year. Not at the beginning of spring training for Major League Baseball. Then these guys would not be conflicted. See what I'm saying? If you have it maybe in early February, or if you have it in some other time of the year, maybe you have it in the fall, guys that are not going to the World Series can play in it, but then you lose a bunch of players. I mean, there's really not a better time to do it than right now, I guess. But if you did it like in early February, I mean, come on. Hey, what do you guys expect at Team USA? You expect these superstars to lay down everything and just come and play for you because you're Team USA?
There's got to be something more there.
Aaron Judge hits one in the gap, and he turns first base and heads for second. And as he turns first base, he twists his ankle. He's out the entire season. And maybe the Yankees will void that contract because he chose to play for Team USA, and he has no insurance because nobody will insure him.
Which is insane. That he has to put himself at that risk just to represent his country. That just the insurance thing is probably more confusing than the timing of the damn game.
Well, I would hate to see Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, Nolan Arenado, Pete Alonso, JT Realmuto get out there and hurt themselves in some manner so they cannot play in the Major League Baseball season.
And if you were a fan of any of those teams, you would hate that. It would make you actually ill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the list goes on. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. I don't know I don't think I'm angry about Aaron Judge, who's the captain of the New York Yankees. a newly named captain. I don't feel like the team needs to be without their captain for a couple of weeks while this thing plays out. I don't know. Merrill Kelly, I don't blame Merrill Kelly for not going out there. Who knows what happens if he goes out there and he's just not right. Aaron Judge says all the right things. It would be an honor to represent my country and play in that. But my main goal is what I can do here for New York Yankees and what I can do to bring a championship back here. Congratulations. I feel like that's the right mindset. There are others that say no. I don't see this is not the Olympics.
Who says Who says no to that? I mean, and even if it were the Olympics, if you were playing a version of the game where you can't get insured because your body is literally your livelihood, and the teams can't get you insured and you're part of their business plan, that I don't blame anybody for walking away from that.
And for it, to be honest, I think it has to be asked. Is the World Baseball Classic, is that relevant? I know it is for other countries, but is it relevant? Is it something we really need?
No.
You got Major League Baseball here in the States. You got a Major League Baseball in South Korea. You got Major League Baseball in Japan. You've got all sorts of Major League or professional baseball. I'm sorry, I've been saying Major League, but you got professional baseball in all of these countries. You got it in South America, Dominican Republic, Cuba. You've got
huge in Denmark for whatever reason.
You got professional baseball all over the world. Do we need to have a World Baseball Classic? Is that something we need to have as a world?
We don't need to have it, but I love the reason why I get caught up in the World Cup is because it is this kind of display of this is the best soccer that we have to offer.
We're not putting the best product on the field.
And that's what I'm saying is I'm getting to that point of I would love to see the World Baseball Classic be that. So we don't need it, but I would love to see it become that. However, that some of these restrictions are going to make it impossible for the World Baseball Classic to ever become that. You can't put that right when training camp starts, because people have to choose between the World Baseball Classic and training camp. And if they think they have a chance to win a championship, which Aaron Judge and some of the other best players in the game certainly do, they're not going. And then, of course, if you're not going to allow people to be insured or you're not going to insure these athletes, they're not going. And rightfully so. So you're actually tripping yourself up if you're the World Baseball Classic and you would like to become an event somewhat akin to the World Cup, because I don't think anything's going to reach that level, because of the massive head start that the World Cup has had. But still, you can make something that's fun and cool and really interesting. But you're going to have to let some of these restrictions go.
Don't we have a vehicle for that? It's called the Olympics.
It is, but
can't the Olympics just every other year or 2 years or whatever it is? Can't the Olympics have a baseball classic in there involved within the Olympics?
Well, they did just add baseball to the Olympics, so I'm sure it's going to happen. But still, they do soccer in the Olympics too. It's a different event. And
I get what you're saying, but when are you going to play it? When other time are you going to play it? I guess what other time are you going to play it?
I mean, I don't know. I just think if you go before training camp,
maybe every 2 years instead of the All-Star game, you take a 2-week hiatus in the baseball season in the middle of the season, and you play the World Baseball Classic there, where everybody from around the world congregates. I mean, hockey has an Olympic break. The NBA has an Olympic break. Why wouldn't baseball have like an Olympic or quote unquote a World Baseball Classic break?
It's a great question.
Then guys are they're already in the season. And who wouldn't appreciate, if they're not in the World Baseball Classic, who wouldn't appreciate a 2-week, layoff during a grueling season? What team would argue about that?
No, it's a good point. I think, I don't know. And I don't know, but the World Baseball Classic should get together with Major League Baseball and these owners and the Players Union and iron something out that makes sense instead of just dropping the World Baseball Classic on us in March. Because when I start hearing, Aaron Judge doesn't want to play and JT Realmuto doesn't want to play, I don't blame them. but it makes the World Baseball Classic something I'm not interested in watching because my country's not going to send the best we have to offer to the tournament. And it's just not fun.
888-368-1580. Quiet Cannon says World Baseball Classic doesn't mean squat in the scheme of things. Who remembers who won the last time? Let the minor leaguers and college players field the roster for the U.S. They could kick ass. Yeah, I mean, okay,
they
yeah.
And you're right. It doesn't mean anything, but it doesn't have to be meaningless. It's meaningless now, but that's because no one has taken the initiative to build it into something.
Flying Monkeys on the text line says the World Baseball Classic not relevant in the United States. Heck, MLB is barely relevant anymore here.
Well, that's just not true.
I don't know about that.
But the first part, the World Baseball Classic not being relevant here, that is true. But again, I would like to see it be built into something because I think if you have a tournament where the best in the world are playing, the best that Japan has to offer, the best that Costa Rica has to offer, and the best that the U.S. has to offer, and that you do have to have the best that the U.S. has to offer because the sport was invented here. If you don't do that,
well, not only that, but these guys around the world have caught up to United States.
Yeah, so like you can send the college guys, but there's a reason we don't give a damn. I'm saying, yes, we don't give a damn, but why does it have to be that way? Why do we have to have this tournament that could be meaningful and we haven't tried to build it into anything?
Big George, I think the Major League Baseball teams need to call Geico. We call Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. It's not car insurance, Big George. Silly Wabbit, the World Baseball Classic should be the champions from each country in a tournament. Yeah, but when would you play it? The World Series already goes into November. When would you play it?
And it would be the champions from Major League Baseball who have players from around the world.
And then you would have the champions from the Japanese League, the South Korean League, the South American leagues, Cuban
but the
leagues.
Best players from those leagues come here.
The European leagues.
You know what I mean?
Know.
Like that to me doesn't work. Like you don't do that in the World Cup. The World Cup has a Champions League. That's a different thing entirely.
Eddie V says, are the players paid to play in the World Baseball Classic? Not by their major league teams. No. They might make some sort of stipend, from USA Baseball, but I don't think they get a game check from their teams for playing in the World Baseball Classic.
No, I don't think you do either.
And CK completely and totally off the beaten track here. The Cardinals won't sign Gardner Minshew. I'm waiting.
And
I got the spinning circle of death here.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, well,
the old text line strikes again.
Cardinals won't sign Minshew because they simply don't want. They simply don't want. With that, let's take a break. And
executed.
I'll reset the text line, and we'll talk more stuff and get more of your texts. On the other side, it's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Lowe's always has more ways for you to save. On top of our everyday low prices, pros can save big when buying in bulk. Or if your purchase is over $1,500, ask about our volume savings program. A pro associate can provide a customized quote. Ask about our volume savings programs today. It always pays to be a pro at Lowe's. While supplies last, minimum purchase required. Selection varies by location. Lowe's reserves the right to limit quantities. Volume discount pricing quotes are valid up to 7 days. Visit your local pro desk to learn more and start saving. Offers subject to change may not be available in all Lowe's stores.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
One trip down Scottsdale Road and it's obvious. Snowbird season is here. You know what else is on Scottsdale Road? The absolute best restaurant to take your out-of-town friends and family to. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. No one does it better than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, fire, and fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is dinnertainment at its best, where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for any occasion. Choose from over 50 different items and combinations of teppanyaki. Looking for a great dining without the show? Kasai offers an awesome selection of Asian-inspired dishes and tasty sushi. Happy hour deals daily until 6 p.m. And enjoy outdoor dining on our heated patio. So whether here on a golfing trip, for spring training, or just to enjoy our Arizona sunshine, don't just take your guests to dinner. Take them to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse for dinnertainment. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer, Christine.
I'm a director and a performer. I got a free phone from Cricket, and I've used it to live stream 73 of my shows on social media.
How do you like it?
It's fabulous!
Switch to Cricket and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial, limited time. Must bring your number to Cricket on a $60 a month first month service charge and tax with sale. Phone streams video and SD. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
With LifeWell, help is here to support our community with counseling, housing services, and addiction treatment. We focus on adults and young adults with financial need. Learn more at lifewell.us and join our team to make a difference in the lives of others. We're hiring counselors, nursing staff, psychiatrists, and more. Start a career of hope, health, and healing at lifewell.us. This message is sponsored by LifeWell and a Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust COVID Response Grant.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
No, Pinocchio, the lady didn't steal it from Jeffrey. Jeffrey's just been indisposed, and she had to make the new spot. So it was that lady did not steal from Jeffrey. He knows about it, and when he comes back, I'm sure he'll do an update. Are we live? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, welcome back to the Daily Blender of 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. CK on the text line. That one thing we were trying to talk about before. That the Cardinals won't sign Minshew because they simply don't want a quarterback controversy. Possibly, he may beat out Kyler Murray. Well, I doubt that. Also, the WBC should be played in September through October with players out of playoff contention filling out the roster. I mean, that's a good idea.
True.
But you don't get all of our superstars then.
That's a good point. In fact, the best of our superstars presumably would be playing.
Maybe.
Obviously, you've got guys like Mike Trout who are just trapped on horrible teams.
No, and then there's Shohei Ohtani, and
but he's Japanese, so he would have his own. Because I don't know if Shohei's in or out for Japan.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that. Anyway, 888-368-1580. Speaking of baseball, Mississippi State. They've got a guy out there, which, okay, I've seen this once before in my baseball fandom, but they've got a freshman out there that not even Shohei Ohtani is able to do what this guy is able to do. Giancarlo Sigenti. A 19-year-old starter on the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Went viral Wednesday for his near mythical feats on the mound in a game against the UL Monroe. During one sequence of third inning, an ambidextrous pitcher struck out a righty batter with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from his right arm, and then when facing a lefty batter in the same inning, switched to his left arm, struck out the batter with some 92-mile-an-hour heat. So this guy came in the game, and he's ambidextrous. And he used his right arm to pitch to the right-handed batter, and he was throwing 96. Then He apparently changed gloves and went with the left hand and struck the next guy out, who was a left-hander, by throwing a Heat 92 and above. I mean, dear God, what's going to happen next? This kid's 19 years old, and he's on Mississippi State, and he has, if he can stay healthy, and if they don't ruining him, because he's a unicorn, so to speak, by trying to get him out there to throw just every chance they can.
Which there's some manager that's just chomping at the bit.
Right.
You can pitch 2 days because you got 2 arms you pitch with.
Well, and I don't know what I don't know what the rules would state. It generally speaks of one guy pitching X amount of innings in college ball. And I don't think he could come back on no days rest. That would be insane to bring him in back to back like that. I'm sorry, just be insane. But good luck to him. Gerangelo.
I looked it up just now. They said Senja. Don't ask me how those. Do not ask me how those letters make. I agree with you. I do agree with you. But it's pronounced Senja.
Senja.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could see that, I suppose.
I'm looking at.
I mean,
that,
if you could
that
put all those
grouping of
consonants together, and
yeah, it's
and come up with some of these names today.
It's 12 consonants in the letter I.
Who's the guy, the football player, the Hawaiian cat for Clemson, who's no longer at Clemson? What'd you say he was?
DJ Uiagalelei.
Oh, you see all the damn consonants in there instead of no. We need more vowels in names, man.
If DJ could actually give some of his vowels.
Well, he could sell some of those consonants off and put some vowels in there.
Gerangelo and DJ just need to trade. DJ will give up some of his vowels because he's got too many. Gerangelo in Senja, for some reason, has all the consonants.
It does not say Senja. It's CIJNTJE.
Please don't come at me. I didn't make his name.
Well, I didn't either.
All I'm saying is that's what they said on the damn MLB Network.
If you didn't say his name, how the hell do I know it's Senja?
The guys
those guys at the MLB Network could be making stuff up.
They could, but they said it to his face. He was sitting right. They were interviewing him. He was sitting right there. I don't know what to tell you. Those letters do not say Senja to me, but that's how they pronounced his name.
Gerangelo, get on the horn with that ukulele guy.
He'll send you some vowels. You send some consonants back, and we'll make sense of it.
888-368-1580 is the text line. You are the fourth dimension, and you make this program go. Good luck to you there, Senja. All right, so old Dusty Baker finally won a World Series. He's been managing and playing for a long time. He hasn't won as a manager. Finally got his World Series win, and I think he's getting a little cocky. He was asked earlier this week, why didn't you bring in a veteran pitcher? And he had this quote: "You got to ask the powers that be. I got the power, but not the authority. That was always a consideration for me. We didn't have a general manager in place in order to make that move," end quote. Seems like he's getting a little snippy.
But I can understand that.
Dusty's getting a little snippy here.
You win a World Series, you're hoping to retool so you can run it back, and then your team fires your general manager.
Yeah, hey, thanks for helping us, put together a team. You're fired. Here's your World Series ring. You're fired.
Hired a general manager at the end of January.
So
what could they have done?
And does that mean the Astros are in trouble? Oh, hell no. No, they're going to be fine.
No, they're loaded.
They have in more ways than one. They've got a truckload of talent there in Houston. They're going to be fine. Don't worry about the Astros. They're going to be just fine. I just thought it was funny that you win a World Series, and all of a sudden you feel like you can just talk any way you want to. Dusty Baker, you better watch it. They don't need some manager, some upstart manager coming in there telling them how to run their baseball team. You know what I mean? It's better back it down, Jack. All right. We are cruising through hour number 2. Is there some reason that we've been told about Brock Purdy's surgery and now all of a sudden they're pulling the rug out from underneath us, Keon? Apparently a report came out, according to Pro Football Live, whatever it is.
Yeah, PFT.
Football
Talk.
Pro Football tonight. Pro Football on Thursday. Brock Purdy will not undergo elbow surgery as planned this week. He had a pre-op visit in Arlington with Dr. Keith Meister. Is that the right name, or does he have some consonants and vowels I don't know about either?
Well, there's no interview I can pull up, so unfortunately,
is it instead of Meister, it's a Messination logo?
We'll have to do the best we can. Look, when someone's name is from another culture, I don't know what they use to make sure that the letters in that culture somehow make sense in English, but they do a bad job of doing it. Whoever the person is that's in charge of
that. Anyway, they talked to this guy, Meister or Muhammad, whatever his name is. And they included the Texas Rangers team physician. Why would they include the Texas Rangers team physician? I mean, if you're going to ask a team doctor, wouldn't you ask like the Yankees team doctor or the Giants team doctors, or why would you go with the Texas Rangers team physician?
Unless this guy has a practice where he does some work for the NFL as well. That's possible where, he does obviously for stuff for the Rangers, but then specifically when it comes to Tommy John surgery and NFL players, he might be a specialist that the league turns to. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Another damn good point. I mean, you're bringing all sorts of good points in here.
I try my best.
Anyway, Purdy met with Keister and the Rangers team physician, and there's some swelling in there that they want to go down. So I'm sure they stuffed him full of some sort of anti-inflammatories. He needs surgery to repair the torn UCL in his right elbow. Listen, this is not going to be a simple surgery. It requires some rebuilding. The plan is for an internal brace, which involves screws and sutures to stabilize the ligament. The internal brace repair option would keep Purdy out about 6 months, allowing him to start throwing in 3 months with a slow 3-month buildup. The more intensive surgery would sideline him into the season. So there you go. That's the latest. They got to get the swelling down first. Apparently his elbow is still swollen, and they've got it. So are the 49ers going to try to hang on to Garoppolo?
No. Seems like that relationship has just been blown to smithereens.
If I was Garoppolo and they called on me after old Trey Lance went down and this Brock Purdy was hanging in there, I would have told Garoppolo he could just you guys can chew on my jock. I'm not coming back. You know what I mean?
He can. I don't know
what you guys after what you guys said to me. After what you guys did, and you outcast me on the sidelines over here. Yeah, you know what? Here's my bag of my sweaty clothes. Just go ahead and start chewing on those.
I mean, he did request a trade, though. They didn't just put him on the sideline just because they wanted to. He wanted out.
Well, I don't know. Old Dark Helmet out there. He said, I think we all know what's going to happen here.
Well, yeah, that was at the end of the season, though.
Jimmy took it like a pro. He's a professional. So anyway, Brock Purdy, a elbow surgery, it needs to come down. The elbow surgery has been delayed. I still don't understand why you got a Texas Ranger guy. Anyway, CK says Big Rooster Brock's swelling didn't improve enough for the procedure. Yeah, it's what I was just saying, CK. Silly Wabbit said, I think some of these names are the result of people leaving their cell phones on their pockets, and it randomly touches various letters to form nonsense. Yeah, well, that's true.
I mean, yeah.
I can see that happening.
But more likely that a person from another culture's name does not translate well to English. I don't know.
Fighting Wampa, the reason the Astros didn't go after a veteran pitcher because they used that money instead to invest in their newer camera equipment in center field. Much better way to steal signs. Wow. It's been a hell of an hour. I don't know why I have a headache all of a sudden. But we're coming back for one more. 2 hours down, one more. Daily Blender headed for 6 o'clock tonight on a Thursday edition here on the Flamethrower, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer, Christine.
I'm a director and a performer. I got a free phone from Cricket, and I've used it to live stream 73 of my shows on social media.
How do you like it?
It's fabulous.
Switch to Cricket and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial, limited time. Must bring your number to Cricket on a $60 a month first month service charge and tax to its sale. Phone streams video and SD. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Remember when you could go to the doctor and actually leave feeling better? Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Katz. The problem with our healthcare system is the focus on the system and not on your healthcare. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum healthcare using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men and women's health. We help people find relief when other doctors have failed. Our naturopathic doctors can restore your pain-free life using cutting-edge regenerative treatments. We can also help restore balance to your immune, digestive, and hormonal systems. Addressing your cause can also improve both mental and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working for you, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call us. We're the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, Arizona at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161 or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Children are born learning. From birth to age 5, they develop faster than any other time in life. Great childhoods are made in these first 5 years, in play and conversation, at home and outside, in quality childcare and preschool, and in our communities, in the simple moments that help kids learn, grow, and succeed. First Things First is Arizona's early childhood agency with free programs to support great childhoods. Learn more at azchildhoods.org. Sponsored by First Things First.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Welcome, everybody, to a Thursday edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Right over there, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. That's Keon Rhodes. We're broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Studios in the beautiful CRC Broadcasting Megaplex in Uptown Scottsdale. You're texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580. Jeffrey O'Brien continues to be out We covered a whole bunch last hour. We got a whole lot this hour as well. If you want to stick around, if you want to know, even if you don't, we're going to talk a little bit about that freshman from the Alabama basketball team just for a moment. And then I got a cool story between Michael Jordan and Brad Daugherty, who were teammates on the North Carolina team. So I got a cool story about that. And there's an Arizona Republic writer that feels like the Cards coaches are too young. And the way he went about it was a bit mean-spirited, I think. There's one thing about voicing your opinion, and there's another about being, I think, a bit mean-spirited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, reports of Aaron Rodgers ending his darkness retreat early. I don't know if we'll get there. Do we really need to? Is that like a major piece of news?
It's not a major piece of news, but he said he would leave when he came to a decision. Here he is.
Well, okay. Originally, he said, "I'm going to go and maybe I'll get this decision while I'm in there." But he clarified. I think.
No,
you're
right.
on his friend's show, the Pat McAfee show, saying he's going to go in for 4 days, 4 nights. And I understand this room was a small room. It was not some luxurious hotel where you've got darkening type curtains. You just close the shades. I mean, what I understand is allegedly the room is about 300 or 400 square feet.
I'll actually read you the tweet that Schefter put out about the room.
Hit me.
If I can find it here.
If Shefty put it out, then it was like 300 or 400 square feet. It had a queen bed in it.
He said the room in which Aaron Rodgers spent his time is a partially underground, hobbit-like structure with 300 square feet of space, devoid of light, with the queen bed, a bathroom, and a meditation-like mat on the floor.
Now, when he says bathroom, about that,
might actually have a bathroom.
Huh.
Because like this is like a retreat place. Like this, Aaron Rodgers is not the only person that uses this place.
Can you imagine coming out of a room after 4 days in complete darkness?
No, and I never want to find out what that's like.
And suddenly there's Aaron Rodgers standing in front of you.
I definitely don't want to find out what that's like.
And the first, dear God, what was that tea I took? I don't ever want to drink that again.
I don't know if you can accidentally drink it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's definitely.
The hell was that Ishkawana tea? I don't want to drink that ever again. Because look, I fully think that's Aaron Rodgers standing before me right now. Clearly, my mind is not cleared yet.
And the reports were that he was going to take DMT, which is, from what I understand, even stronger.
DMT, isn't that what you put in your pump filters?
It is
to
not.
clean your pool.
It is not.
Diametrius Earth or whatever it's called. Isn't that the DMT? The hell would you take a pool filter DMT? Why would you do that?
It's definitely not that. It's not a pool
I don't
filter
understand
thing.
why Aaron Rodgers wants to. I mean, okay, I can see the T, but why are you taking Diametrius Earth? You clean out your filters and your pumps inside your body? Is that why you're going to do that?
Nope. That's
I'd like to know what the hell Aaron Rodgers is trying to do here by taking a pool filter.
It's a different DMT. We're not talking about the same DMT. There's actually like a molecule that's released by your brain.
It's a molecule.
Yeah, and it's released by your brain when you sleep. That's what kind of causes you to have dreams and stuff. But if you just take a bigger dose of that, you're just going to hallucinate lots of stuff, which is, I assume, the point.
Well, I could see why. Pool filter, Diametrius Earth, or whatever it's called.
I don't think it's a pool
I don't
filter.
know why you want to do that. I mean, what the hell are they going to think of? I guess it's it's some sort of a biological type of thing. I guess it's not really going to hurt you. It's not like it's poison.
Nah, it's the hippy dippy types tend to be attracted to it. I am. Yeah, anything that strong is just.
I know when I had a pool filter that took that Diametrius Earth, I felt a little wonky after I was handling it.
I really don't think that we are
I had to pour it in there. You had to take the top off your pool pump. You had to pour that in there by the bag full.
I think we are talking about two different things. I've never had a pool, so I'm not familiar with the pool filter stuff because Well, I've never had a pool filter.
No, I guess, when you have the kind of money Aaron Rodgers does, I mean, whatever. Sleep in the dark, pee in the dark, and take, pool filter stuff.
Backpack across Peru and
I don't think that was
strange plants.
I don't think that was his. I don't think that was his thing, was it?
Yes.
Was that his thing?
I watched the interview where he was talking about it.
Old Gertie McFly, whatever his girlfriend's name was, I thought she was the one dragging him around.
I'm telling you right now, every weird thing you heard was Aaron Rodgers' girlfriend's. It was Aaron the whole time.
And that's another thing.
I watched an interview with him and this guru guy that he's been hanging out with, apparently, and they were talking about and reminiscing about all the psychedelics they've been taking. Aaron has been doing this himself. No one has influenced him. Don't blame women, blame Aaron. He's weird, and he's just like that.
Well, and that's the other thing. I don't know why you'd be backpacking around Purdue. It's a college, for heaven's sakes.
No,
they got
Peru.
dorms. What's
Peru,
that?
The country of the nation of Peru.
Oh, Peru.
Where they got like the llamas and the alpacas. And
okay.
All that stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Those alpacas are mean. They spit on you.
So I've heard.
They'll spit on you.
I hope I never meet
right
one.
at you. Probably chewing on that Diametrius earth. They'll spit right on you. 888-368-1580. Fighting Wampa wants to know. Maybe old Aaron Rodgers is doing this whole retreat so he can hallucinate that he can still play at an MVP level. That's a good point. That's a good point right there.
He's only 1 year removed from it.
Boogie says that he's got it on good authority that Berg and Big George, within the Hobbit room with Aaron Rodgers, Berg was trying to recruit him to play for the Patriots. Big George ended up staying an extra day because he got stuck. It's another good point. I could see Big George getting stuck in a Hobbit-sized room. Here's my question. If it's a Hobbit-sized room, do they have second breakfast?
Oh, I don't know what the rules are.
It's a well-known fact that they have, extra breakfast. There's so many questions.
It's been a while since I've read Lord of the Rings or watched.
Well, second breakfast, I believe. Miss Kim is a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Really?
She has every possible book, every possible version of the film, director's cuts. The DVDs, the VHSs, the Blu-rays, the laser rays. She's got every possible version of the. As a matter of fact, I got her a mug, not a mug, a glass that has got the whole map of the Middle Earth on it, and that's one of her most prized possessions. I've given her diamonds. One of her most prized possessions is the glass I have with the Middle Earth etched on it.
That's pretty damn cool, though.
All right. I'll tell you who needs to go into a dark room. That's this kid, Brandon Miller from Alabama. A day after the Tuscaloosa, it's easy for you to say, police testified he brought a now former teammate the handgun used to kill a woman in January. Alabama star freshman Brandon Miller, keep in mind, star freshman, scored a career-high 41 points, including a game-winning layup in the final second of overtime as the number 2 Crimson Tide roll on, outlasting South Carolina 78-76 in Columbia last night.
From what I understand, he's not a suspect, though.
How can he not be tied to this murder?
Well, they don't know, but they're saying he's a cooperating witness, and so like if they feel like, all right, he's giving us information, he's not hiding anything, he's not withholding anything, even if he is connected doesn't mean you did it. You know what I mean? Like that's where I don't want to necessarily accuse him of anything, because he has so far been cleared of he's done it, and he might be connected, but that doesn't mean that you are the person that pulled the trigger. It doesn't mean that you knew that the person who did was going to do anything.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me read this to you. From the Tuscaloosa detective Brandon Culpeppers testified. Miller brought now former teammate Darius Miles' gun to him on the night of the shooting death of the 23-year-old Janae Harris. After Miles asked him to do so via text message, Miles, who has since been removed from the Crimson Tide's basketball program, and Michael Lynn Davis face capital murder charges in the death of Harris, who was shot and killed near the campus in the early morning hours of January 15. Miles admitted to providing the gun used in the shooting, according to investigators. Miller was not charged with a crime. How?
If he didn't know what the gun was to be used for, you can't charge him with anything. And that's why I don't want to accuse him of anything, because obviously, if someone just asks you for a gun, it's stupid to just give them one without asking why.
Yo, Keon, you know that gun that I gave you, or you know that gun that you have? Bring that over here, will you? You're not going to ask why?
You might, but you might have an idea that, okay, this might not be used for anything good. I don't want to know.
Then
all I'm saying is we're looking at a case where a college kid made a dumb decision that got somebody killed.
I understand that, but it cost somebody their life.
Yes. But
somebody's daughter.
But that doesn't mean that he knew. That doesn't make him guilty. We know who actually did it. That person should be in jail and just never go away. Never come out of there again, right? Like just be buried beneath the jail. And if it turns out that he has in fact had knowledge and that he knew what was going to happen and he provided the gun anyway, I'm all for burying him. But I don't know what he knew and didn't know. And it seems like the police are pretty comfortable with, all right, we don't think that he had that awareness. Because I guarantee you he's not playing basketball if they thought that.
Well, he seems pretty nonchalant. I mean, he went out in his first game back, dropped 41, won the game for the team. I mean, if I was privy to somebody that I've known and somebody that I'm close to, and I gave them a weapon and they used said weapon and they committed a crime and murdered another human being, I sure as hell wouldn't be in shape to go out and drop 41 points in a basketball game.
But that's a different thing, because we've seen this happen. When really stressful things happen to athletes, they find their sanctuary in the place of play, whether it's the court, the football field, or whatever. And so this is where I'm focusing right now, because I don't want to focus on anything else. And we've seen it happen before. I mean, it's a very different situation. But obviously, the Monday Night Football after Brett Favre's father died, to me, I don't think, because after my dad died, I wasn't in a mental state to do anything useful. And Brett Favre went out there and played the best game of his life.
Well, so this is different, okay?
This is different, but I'm saying if he thinks, like if this is something where he's actually innocent and he doesn't know, and a gun he provided got somebody killed and they let him play, he's putting all his energy into playing. I'm going to focus on this to just escape what I just was a part of. So I'm not going to use that as evidence that he's nonchalant.
I don't know about that.
Think a one that's probably closer and more apropos, the Kobe Bryant rape case. Some of the best Kobe games were happening in that stretch of time, because it's like, look, I'm part of this horrible thing. I'm going to focus right here. Athletes do it all the time.
I don't know that I can agree with that. And I respect what you're saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just I can't myself. I can't see that happening.
I'm personally not the person who can do that. But there are people who are capable of just going, I compartmentalize this and all the other stuff. I can't think about that right now, because if I do, I'll break. And they focus on the one thing that they know they're good at. And in this case, for this dude, it's basketball. And so to me, that's possible. That's a plausible thing. And I need evidence before I start saying this guy deserves to be locked away, because I don't know what he knows and doesn't.
Well, I don't know if he needs to be locked away right now. I mean, there needs to be a trial. There needs to be, justice. There needs to be investigation. The guy was there. He was in the vehicle when the gun was taken out of his vehicle. He brought the gun to the guy. To me, that makes him culpable. That makes him accessory to murder.
He's culpable, but we don't know what he knew. Without knowing that, you can't say that he's culpable. What did he know? What did you know, Mr. President? And when did you know it? What did he know and when did he know it? We don't know.
How does this 18 or 19-year-old kid have a weapon?
Well, that's not hard. He's in Alabama. But I went to a pawn shop and bought a gun when I was living in Tennessee.
Yeah, let's take everybody's guns away, and that'll solve the problem.
I'm not suggesting that. You're asking how he got a gun.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying
it took 15 seconds, and there was supposed to be background checks. Didn't happen. So all I'm saying is, how does an 18-year-old get a gun in the South? It ain't hard.
Alabama Athletic Director Greg Byrne told ESPN in an interview on the College Game Day podcast that the school learned some, quote, new facts, end quote, in the previous 48 hours, both from Tuesday's hearing and afterward. He said the decision to allow Miller to play was made in consultation with the university president, Dr. Stuart R. Bell, Oates, university legal counsel, and others at the school. Collectively, quoting the athletic director, Byrne here, collectively, we decided Brandon was able to play, end quote.
I think all of these guys are capable of understanding that they need to cover their asses here. If they really thought that he was culpable in a way where he had knowledge of what was going to happen, then I don't think they would have let him play.
I will say this, that, on-court sports justice happened last night. Whether this kid is arraigned on, accessory to murder charge or not, the bottom line is in Columbia, they let him have it. Lock him up, guilty. Every time Miller touched the ball, boos rained down. And if he missed a shot, enormous ovation happened.
I don't know if I like that.
Then he shouldn't have been on the damn court. He's an
amateur athlete.
And I go back to my original comment. Star freshman. You think the school cares about his emotional stability?
It's not about the emotional stability.
You're damn right. It's about this team winning and going on to a tournament and trying to win a national championship.
But they're not going to jeopardize all of their jobs for one NCAA tournament run where you're not guaranteed anything.
Well,
they have access to the campus police. They have all the information we don't have.
If they were concerned about this Brandon Miller, as they say they are, he would have never played. This is too fresh, and all of the facts need to come out. And everybody needs to be privy to the facts.
The thing is,
you can't just run this kid out there like he's a show pony and make him go out and do his tricks and win a game for you.
He's 18 years old, though.
Exactly.
So at some point, you've got to let him decide. And I'm sure they asked him, Brandon, you want to go? And if he said yes at 18 years old, if you can join the military and you can smoke a cigarette, you should be able to play a basketball game, even in turmoil. But that doesn't mean that the fans get to go out there and say things about you that may not be true. I don't know if I necessarily like that. But if he said yes, they didn't coerce him.
Yeah.
What do you do? He's starting to become an adult. Part of that is you let him make a decision like that.
Straight Striper on the text line 888-368-1580 says, I'm sorry, prohibits anyone under 21 to possess a handgun. I know, but maybe it wasn't his handgun. Maybe he was holding it for the killer.
And I'm telling you, in Alabama, I don't care what the age you're supposed to have a gun is. No one said he was licensed, just that he got a gun. And I'm telling you, it's not hard. It's not hard.
CK says it was the shooter's gun. Yeah, it was the shooter's gun. But again, maybe it didn't belong to him. And maybe like Keon said, maybe the kid had no idea what was going on. I mean, people that premeditate murder, oftentimes don't share to friends and others that, I'm gonna kill this person.
Because if you say that, then obviously it's like, no, first off, I'm not getting you the gun. Good Lord. Secondly, even if I get it to you, if we get in trouble for this, I am absolutely turning on you. You're trying to commit a crime. Obviously, you don't say anything. I just think it's possible and plausible that he didn't fully understand the whole situation that was going to happen with that gun beforehand. So I don't want to blame him for anything, not yet.
I am not blaming him.
No, I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just saying when you have a crowd of people chanting, lock him up and all that stuff.
Well,
that's insane. That is insane for those people because they're adults too. Like that's the part that's killing me about this. That crowd, grown ass people are yelling at that at an 18-year-old. Like, sure, you have to question the university asking him to play, but if he wants to play, like I think you got to let him. But I do think grown-ass people should probably not be yelling that at a kid when they don't have all the facts either.
I get what you're saying, but again, I think it behooves the university not to run him out there on the floor, especially this close to the crime, especially with the facts that came out that the people of Columbia don't know about. And unfortunately, Keon, we live in a society where people don't give a damn. They're going to say what they want to say.
Yeah.
I watched a guy. I watched a guy on news the other night just take up a handgun and shoot a guy in cold-blooded murder. Guy was unarmed, just walked up on him and killed him for no reason. Now, this is the society we live in nowadays. This is the way it is. And I think there was a responsibility on the part of Alabama not to put the kid out there.
And maybe you're right, but I also think you have to let the kid choose. He's 18. He's not 15. He's 18.
I hear you.
So at that point,
I hear that.
If you can choose to say, hey, I want to serve my country and serve in the military, that's a dangerous job. But they let you choose that one if you want to.
All right. 888-368-1580. That's the text line. We're going to move on from this. I just wanted to get that out there. I mean, Keon and I have some differing thoughts on it, but I think we both feel the same way. This is an unfortunate, terrible incident.
It's just awful.
And the kid somehow got wrapped up in it. And we don't even have all the facts and we don't have all the details, so we can't pass judgment. The bottom line is this was a terrible situation. And what are we doing? What are we doing? More of the Daily Blender, including on this date in Big Georgia sports history right around the corner here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
The second half of the NBA season starts on Thursday night. A couple of games on the schedule, including the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Western Conference leader Denver Nuggets. Cleveland favored by 2.5 points, minus 130 on the money line. Denver plus 110 with an over-under at 222. The Boston Celtics will face the Indiana Pacers in Indianapolis. Celtics an 8-point road favorite, minus 325, while the Pacers plus 270 at home. The over-under 234.5. And the Dallas Mavericks, a 13.5-point home favorite against the San Antonio Spurs. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you have an IRA or 401k, please listen closely. My name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. Throughout my career, let's just say I've been in some hairy situations. And I believe right now, the biggest threat facing Americans is they need to protect their wealth, which is exactly what I'm doing for my wife and 6 kids. And I believe the ultimate safe haven is physical gold and silver. You can protect your hard-earned retirement assets with a tax-free loophole that allows you to convert your retirement into physical gold and silver. The folks I use are Advantage Gold, and believe me, I've investigated the heck out of all types of people. Advantage Gold is the nation's highest rated gold company. They have the best process, pricing, and service. If you want to get your free gold and silver investment kit, please contact Advantage Gold right now, and you'll see how easy it is to protect yourself with precious metals. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
GCU men's basketball is back on the Fanatic. Listen along with Lopes insider Paul Coro and the voice of the Lopes, Michael Potter, for every moment of exciting Lopes action.
This Friday night, GCU's at home at the arena to take on Seattle U. Tip time at 7 p.m.
Listen all season long as the Lopes make their way through the WAC and try to punch their ticket into the madness of March. It's GCU Lopes basketball, only on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic as we're heading for 6 o'clock tonight. And speaking of heading towards 6 o'clock, tonight on the TNT is the NBA. And you can be a part of the action of the TNT on the NBA or the NBA on the TNT. Yeah, did I say that right? Backwards, probably. Anyway, with a no-sweat same-game parlay from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Now, listen up. Doesn't matter if you're new or you are a veteran user to FanDuel. Every Thursday night, you get bonus bets back. If your same-game parlay doesn't hit, same-game parlay's perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Build your own, or you could choose one from the popular same-game parlays already made up for you in the FanDuel Sportsbook app. However you want to play, you can bet the NBA on TNT every Thursday night with a no-sweat same-game parlay. Just go to FanDuel.com/Randy1580 to learn more, and download FanDuel today to get in on the action. Again, that's FanDuel.com/Randy1580. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older, present in Arizona, 3 or more legs, minimum $1 bet required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342 as we continue to move on here on the Daily Blender. Lots happening this weekend, too. We got some college basketball. The AIA will be in action, and GCU also in action. So the Daytona 500 just recently happened last weekend. You may or may not know that Michael Jordan is an owner of a very high-end NASCAR team, 2311 Motorsports. Well, also a former teammate of his, Brad Doherty, owns Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s car, JTG Doherty Racing, and he's the winning owner of Daytona 500. Well, he received a text message from his old friend. He reached out and said, "Congratulations, my brother. Outstanding. I'm so proud of you." And that was it. And Doherty says, I just told him, I said, I'm so proud of you. Doherty, co-owner, again, of GTG Doherty Racing, became the first black principal owner in Daytona history to win the 500 when Ricky Stenhouse's car finished out front on Sunday. What's funny is all these other guys, especially like NASCAR drivers, they're all just little teeny tiny guys, man. They're almost like jockeys, horse racing jockeys. You see Brad Doherty out there. He's 7 foot tall. So that's kind of, there's a picture here in this article of him and Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon's like 5 foot nothing. So anyway, congratulations to Brad Doherty. And I thought that was a cool story from Michael Jordan, texting his friend and congratulating him on that championship. So good for him. Hope to see more winning from both those teams. Speaking of the NBA, there's no NBA action tonight, is there, Keon?
Yeah, there is. NBA's
back.
back.
There's action tonight?
The association is back in business.
So it's been 6 days, right? 6 days off?
Mm-hmm.
Is the NBA All-Star break a little too long, do you think?
No, not really.
I realize the teams like it, and I get it. I get why they do it. And MLB, just to kind of consider the other ones, the MLB has 5 days off for their All-Star break. I think that's maybe a bit long, but the NHL has 4 days off for its All-Star break, and then the NFL has the in-season bye week, and then they don't even play their All-Star game until after the season. So I'm just wondering, six days off for that NBA game, that All-Star game.
Well, it's not just the game; it's the whole weekend, right?
I know.
It starts Friday night.
Skills challenge, 3-point contest,
Saturday
slam
night,
dunk. Yeah,
you get Sunday night. So there's 3 days of the event,
and then it was in that hub of activity in Utah. Yeah, Salt Lake City,
Utah. Where people go and notoriously throw down. What happens in Salt Lake City stays in Salt Lake City.
That's because everybody goes there and then they take a nap. All right, so I was thinking, in your opinion, you're an NBA fan. You think it's too long? Are you like jonesing for some basketball action? Are you like happy that tonight they're back?
I'm definitely happy that tonight they're back, and I have been jonesing for basketball action, but I don't think it's too long. You've played about 75% of the season, so you take that break and then you come back for what we all know to be the most important stretch of the regular season. I like the guys get to take as much time to heal up as they can, and then you get back to it.
All right.
I've never had a problem with the amount of time. 6 is just getting on the edge of how long I'm willing to wait. And
all right,
we get to 6 and we get half the teams in the league today. We get the other half of teams playing tomorrow.
I just hope down the stretch we don't see this this business where the superstars are out of the lineup to rest. They just had 6 days off.
Yeah, I don't think, and I think part of the reason, not part of the reason, but one of the ways that it actually does kind of work out that the All-Star game is so late in the season is you're not going to get superstars resting after this. At least, not right after the break.
Well, I mean, that's the idea, right?
If you're healthy enough to play, we're seeing these playoff races. They're really close in both conferences. If you take some days off, you might find yourself in the play-in game, or if you were in the play-in game outside of the play-in games. So you don't want that to happen. You really have to go out there and start competing now.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out down the stretch. I know LeBron James says after the All-Star game in that presser, he says, I've got to prepare for the biggest stretch of games in my life, meaning, guiding these Lakers perhaps to a playoff berth, or at least to get them into the playoff tournament, so they can play into the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how this works out and how these guys respond. And LeBron's playing on a bit of a bad ankle too. I was surprised to see him play so much in the All-Star game. I know he wants to get out there and he wants to play because the fans voted him in. I know he likes to do that, but you also have to think, I mean, how bad is this ankle going to hamper him down the stretch?
It may. He's at that age where, there was a point in LeBron's career. It's not even a question we ask. He'll be fine. He's at that age now where bad ankle, you re-injure that could turn into something even more serious.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of pride. He doesn't like to disappoint fans generally. And when it
comes to, he doesn't want to do the slam dunk.
Yeah. But maybe he just doesn't see himself as better than being a good in-game dunker, which is a thing. I hate that. Why not take a swing? If you go there and mess up, like, what's the worst that could happen? It'll be a slam dunk contest. We won't really remember it and we'll move on.
Yeah.
But he, he just didn't want to be involved in the slam dunk contest, which I don't like, but I don't hate either. You know, do what you're comfortable doing. But when it comes to playing in games, I don't question the effort of LeBron generally.
888-368-1580. Boogie on the text line says, fun fact, the Hobbit room is Kyler Murray's second house. He Airbnbs it out to other NFL quarterbacks in the offseason.
No, there's no power in that room. And I'm sorry.
He Airbnbs it out to other NFL quarterbacks in the offseason.
You can't play Call of Duty
Hobbit
in there. So
room.
I am calling BS on that being Kyler's room.
Well, that's his second house. I mean, clearly Boogie has some inside information we're not privy to.
I'm doubting.
Hobbit room.
Strongly doubting.
Are you talking about the dark room?
Yeah.
You're talking about the Blackout Hotel?
The Blackout Hotel, which Kyler couldn't have owned in the first place. It doesn't have power.
Now, did Shefty in that Twitter report, say that there was some sort of like an emergency bailout switch on there where you could turn lights on if you need to? I thought I heard that too.
I think there's a way that you can ask to leave.
I thought I heard there's like a bailout switch in there. You could turn some lights on if you need to.
I didn't see that in the tweet, but it is a tweet, so it is short.
Interesting.
So it's possible that there's a.
I know where I heard that. Jim Rohn show today. Romy show. I was running an errand and I was tuned into the Jim Rohn show. All right, 888-368-1580. Big George on the text line says, actually, one of Aaron Rodgers' girlfriends, maybe it was Shailene Woodley, ate dirt. Apparently, it's good for your immune system to eat dirt.
Look, you can take it however you want to take it. But knowing what I have read about Aaron Rodgers and watched some interviews with him and how much of like just a complete, new age hippie kind of guy he is.
Eating dirt was
not her idea. I promise. I know that people have this instinct when guys start acting weird, your first instinct is to turn to the girlfriend or the wife and go, why are you making that guy do this? Aaron Rodgers is weird all by himself. If she ate dirt, I honestly don't think that was her idea. Not at first. It was his.
Well, it kind of goes against all of the training I've had. My mom and dad used to tell me, wash your hands before you eat. I mean, now you're going to just reach down and grab a handful of dirt and slam that in your chomper and say that's good for you.
Yeah, I mean,
well, then why the hell have I been washing my hands all these years?
I have no idea. Okay, when we were kids, we would when I was like 5 or 6, we'd make mud pies, and my mom would be like, "Boys, understand you cannot actually eat those." We knew that, but she just felt like she had to remind us.
Come on, Mom, are you kidding me?
Because we were crazy kids, very crazy kids.
I mean, I could see that. I could see that knowing you the way I know you. I could see that, and I feel like I know you pretty well.
You do.
I wish I'd had a chance to meet your mom when she was here.
She'll be back.
She gave you a hard time when she was here, like
of course,
when she was in your apartment. Keon, is this the way you keep your apartment? Is this the way I taught you how to
keep
it?
I tried to clean it too, and it just wasn't up to the standard.
Moms always know.
Yeah, that's what she's about. She is a stickler for cleanliness.
See, I don't have that problem. My mom's dead, so
yeah.
There's that.
That'll do
All
it.
right. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back on this date in Big Georgia sports history. And Greg Moore of the Arizona Republic is maybe hit a nerve with me. We'll talk about it just around the corner on the Daily Blender here at 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer, Christine.
I'm a director and a performer. I got a free phone from Cricket, and I've used it to live stream 73 of my shows on social media.
How do you like it?
It's fabulous.
Switch to Cricket and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial, limited time. Must bring your number to Cricket on a $60 a month first month service charge and tax with sale. Phone streams video and SD. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhalgh and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
It is the Daily Blender as we effort our way through the day until 6 p.m. tonight. Hope you are traveling safely wherever you might be. Maybe you're sitting on the patio enjoying this beautiful weather. Take it in, breathe it in. It's not going to last long. As a matter of fact, as I look here at the official Harmon Solar 1580, the Fanatic Doppler radar, we might get some rain tonight. Oh, what the hell? Let's just do a weather forecast, shall we? From the 1580, the Fanatic Harmon Solar Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Randy White coming at you live. Let's see here. It's currently, 59 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. We're heading for a low tonight of 40 degrees. Remember, if you're in the outlying valley areas, cover your succulents. It's going to get kind of cold out there. Make sure your succulents are covered. And I don't see rain clouds currently, but I am looking at the Doppler radar. There seems to be an opportunity and a good chance for rain, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, 59 degrees from the Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Randy White coming at you. I hope you enjoyed that one. Completely and totally off the cuff. And Keon knows the reams and reams and reams of information I go through every day before the show, just pertaining to weather. You know that, Keon.
It's a staggering amount.
It would easily fill up 8 or 10 notebooks. I got charts. I've got vectors. I got winds. I've got Dewey dew points. I've got temperatures. Yeah, I've got it all.
All this information just going directly to your phone a lot of times. So,
sometimes, Radio Ron has spared no expense in giving me the tools to report the weather to you. That's why you see me hold my phone up, because we have a special app. It was made for us at great expense. Anyway, let's go to the text line at 888-368-1580. Fighting Wampa says, eat dirt, crap, sandpaper. Excuse me?
I wonder if he's saying that is the natural consequence of eating dirt. That if it goes in as dirt on one end.
Well, is that a recommendation?
I don't know if it's a recommendation. It sounds painful.
I think it's a recommendation.
It sounds painful on both ends.
I think what's happening here is Fighting Wampa wants us to try to eat some dirt crap sandpaper. Like I would tell you, go to my favorite restaurant, Keon, get this meal. I think that's exactly what Fighting Wampa is saying. If you're going to eat the dirt crap sandpaper.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Fighting Wampa. The Wiz says, weird attracts weird. Again, I don't quite understand that.
No, sometimes normal people are attracted to weird people.
Keon's not weird in any way, shape, or form. And I am.
Well, it depends on which ex-girlfriend you ask.
What you mean of mine? No. My ex-girlfriend?
Of anybody's.
Oh. The way you worded it.
If you might not be, if you don't think you're the weird one in the relationship, you might be.
You might be. A Blissful Hay says there's only one Dusty, and he's the American dream. That's right, Daddy. The American dream, Dusty Rhodes, coming at you. Listen, there's only one Dusty when it comes to Dusty Rhodes. That's me. That's me, Dusty Rhodes, the American dream. And listen, I'm gonna be there for all the great Americans out there. I've already been to Ohio. And I've been checking out the Ohio and making sure all the great Americans there are well taken care of. That's what Dusty Rhodes does. I'm a do-gooder. And I run around the country doing good. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, out. Mr. Wilbur says, Randy, good job of showing us your Doppler. I did nothing of the sort.
Ooh.
That's only for Miss Kim. All right, let's get this out of the way before I get a phone call or a hateful text message. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's Sports History. Back in the year 1985, Indiana University basketball coach Bobby Knight, angered by a foul call against one of his players and a technical against himself for yelling an obscenity, was ejected from a game against Purdue. There's that Purdue again, Keon, you see, for hurling a chair from the bench across the court during a game in Bloomington. The chair throwing incident became a famous video that has defined Bobby Knight's career as a coach. See, now, why would the chair flinging instrument define his career?
I would say Bob Knight at press conferences defined his career.
Really? Didn't he? He won like one or two championships, didn't he? National championship.
I think he won one. Yeah,
I thought he won one, at least one, right? And he was a wonderful coach. He always seemed to get those kids to go there and play for some reason. All right, I wasn't
saying he was a bad guy, just that he had some of the most epic post-game press conferences. It just
Bobby Knight. A few people know this. He was highly addicted to iced tea. He'll tell you, iced tea. You don't mess with his iced tea. And I think that's what happened. He couldn't find his iced tea before they came out of the locker room.
He won 3 of them, actually. 76, 81, and 87.
Well, there you go, with the Indiana Hoosiers.
But, he also once told a reporter that he needed to get his facts straight for this profession he chose that was 1 or 2 steps above prostitution.
Ooh.
So all I'm saying is Bob Knight, with his words, could hurt your soul. And
yeah,
that's what I know him for.
He could hurt your soul.
Sharp tongue.
No kidding. I'm not going to read this article. I'm going to save it for tomorrow. This article about the because there's not enough time and not enough listeners to really do this justice. So we're just going to leave it there. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to read to you insane jobs that actually used to exist. Okay, insane jobs that actually used to exist. These jobs have gone the way of the dodo bird, and we couldn't be happier. But these are some jobs that used to exist. All right, here's number 1, lamplighter, a lamplighter. So you might remember that there were lamps like in street lights. Well, some of you kids won't remember this, but street lights used to be gas lamp. And in San Diego, there's still the gas lamp district. You could go down there and you'll see the gas lamps downtown San Diego. But they used to have lamplighters to go light these lamps. And then in the morning, these lamplighters would come back and extinguish these lights. So that a lamplighter used to be a job that has gone the way of the dodo bird. Number 2, knocker uppers. Knocker uppers.
That sounds probably worse than what it is.
All right. Before alarm clocks, there were knocker uppers. They carried a big long stick. I mean, kind of like me and Keon. I just anyway, they carried a big long stick and they wake up their clients by knocking at their bedroom window. The standard implement was a stick, but some knockers used soft hammers, rattles, or even pea shooters. I mean, we're not in the pea shooter class. Can I get a witness? All right. And then this was an actual job that used to take place. Flatulists. Yeah, it is what it sounds like.
Okay, that's
flatulists. There was literally a job as a professional farter. A famous example is Roland the Farter. He often performed in the courts of royal families and nobility and was paid handsomely in cash or even with property.
How does one become a professional?
You got to be able to fart on demand. So if you have that gift and you run into any one of the royals, just go ahead and let one fly.
Actually, I was going to say that I couldn't do that, but as long as I have access to my local Chipotle, I'll be fine.
Well, that's true. And always, if you were a flatulist, always carry some toilet paper and an extra pair of underwear with you. Of
course.
All right.
I mean, you are trafficking in dangerous waters right
now. All right. Lector. A lector is a job that is no longer around. A lector would stand on a platform in the workhouse floor, and would loudly read news and literature to keep the workers entertained. The workers enjoyed the lector's service so much that if their bosses stopped hiring one, they would often band together to pool some cash together and hire one of their own. So there you go. The lector. I guess that kind of transitioned into our job.
Yeah, that's basically, I was just thinking that,
I wonder if the fourth dimension, if we ever got in trouble, if the fourth dimension would band together and help us.
I sure hope so.
Let's think about that for a second. We better find something else to do.
You may not be wrong there.
Another job that no longer exists is known as a faker. Before the inception of color photography, a faker would colorize photos by hand. So I don't know, you would just you get the photograph, and then you would get your pencil set out or your crayons, and you would go ahead and just color the picture. Faker. This one's going to be good. I think you're going to like this one. The gong farmer. Gong farmer. Not bong, gong. As in bang, like gong.
Yeah.
Before modern plumbing, people would relieve themselves over a raised board over a cesspit. And after a time, that cesspit would be in need of being emptied. Gong came from a word that means going, and the farmers had to harvest months or even years of people's goings. They'd excavate the contents of these cesspits and take it to a conventional farmer on a cart so it'd be used as fertilizer.
Oh, brother.
Small boys were often given this lovely role due to their ease when it came to jumping down and being hauled back up from the cesspit.
Oh, no.
Jobs that we used to have jobs like that, and they're no longer. They've gone the way of the dodo bird. Then, there's the, now this is interesting because we've all used at one time the term whipping boy. I'm not going to be your whipping boy. A whipping boy was a child brought up with the prince or young king, and when the young royal was naughty, the whipping boy would be forced to take the punishment for him. Royals were protected by divine rights or God's mandate, which said that monarchs were predestined and chosen by God to be king, so laying hands on a royal was an extreme offense. By bringing the whipping boy in and the royal up together as friends, the idea was that seeing the whipping boy in pain would be a deterrent for his royal counterpart. Whipping boy.
That is insane. And also, I don't know, if I'm growing up and I'm a whipping boy, we'll see if God protects you from me. If you get me whipped for no reason, we'll see. We will test the divine right of kings today.
Jobs that no longer exist. They've gone the way of the dodo bird. All right, another job that no longer exists, and thank goodness, might I say, groom of the stool. You want to take a guess at what this one does?
No, I mean it sounds
groom
poop related.
of the stool.
And I'm not thrilled about any of the poop related jobs.
The groom of the stool is a male servant created during the reign of Henry the VII to monitor and assist the king with his bowel motions.
Oh, no.
He would help the king undress for each toilet visit, monitor his diet and meal times, report to the royal doctors, and generally organize his day around the king's goings.
No. No, can't. No. I'm glad that job does not exist.
Groom of the stool, Keon.
Everybody on the earth should do that for themselves.
Groom of the stool. A job that's gone the way of the dodo bird. Well,
I'm so glad it's gone.
I'm really glad that we're out of this segment too. By golly. Well, we've got 3 more hours to go this week. Not today. Psyched you out. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel over most of these same radio stations. Is it VSiN? VSiN's up next. This is Daily Blender. Bye.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better